Oh, I could have done it the other way. I don't know why I did that. I totally
Oh,
Howdy,
hello.
folks. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. What you, Justin? Good weekend? Bad? Mediocre? Average? What you got going on?
Pizza.
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 Pizza's good.
Mm.
I am looking at my paints here, realizing I am going to have to order some washes, maybe even get some new colors. But
Mhm.
yeah, well, I do have some backups, but with all things, one is none, two is one. So I need to get some more.
You should learn how to make the washes. I know
Uh,
you've looked into it
uh
and start converting your old paints into them.
yeah, yeah. I'm actually there's a couple of colors that I rely on, just because it's no brainer. I got this stuff called dry
Yeah.
rust from Army Painter. I could probably mix it, but
Well,
um,
I mean, like, if you're doing a bunch of, like, random creatures that you're only doing one of, so it doesn't matter if you're matching the colors,
yeah.
you can just, like, convert random paints
Mhm.
and then start knocking them off. That way they're not hanging around.
Right. I'll put that up there. It's a Nurse
Yeah.
Chapel looking miniature. The face is Nurse Chapel to a T, but as you can see, the
Uh,
base, that's dry rust, and
yeah.
I just did 30, 40 miniatures here with the same color. That way, I know uh, what company they're from and what game they're for.
I'm sending
And
you a video you have to watch later.
alrighty, I'll try to do that. People send me a whole bunch of stuff, and
Always watch the stuff I send you. It's
yeah,
important.
for you and a few other people, I do. A couple other folks, uh, not so much. I try to get around to it, but then especially on Discord, it'll get buried, and next
Hmm.
thing you know, I've forgotten. They ask me, "Oh, hey, did you do this?" I'm like, "No, let me go."
Yeah.
Spend 5 minutes looking for it, and then another, 20 to 30, or less to
But
watch.
I don't send you a lot of junk. I usually send you
No,
informational
you
stuff.
and Bubba Raven sends me a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna hate it.
Bigfoot,
I'm gonna hate it.
UFOs. Here's how Bigfoot's a UFO.
Yeah, Bigfoot's an actual UFO, unidentified freaky object, or
Yeah.
fake,
Mm-mm.
fraudulent.
The video I just sent you is an excerpt from a stream. Oh, about 6 months ago, I think. I'd have to go look.
From one of
Um,
ours.
no, from Mr. Mac's stream where Phil. I don't know if you know Phil the Thrill. He's one of the
I've heard of
4D
him, but I
guys.
don't.
Yeah,
I don't think we've met.
doesn't matter. And I were doing this very exercise as a joke, but we
Okay.
were riffing off each other, and we
Okay.
we we ended up making the most disturbing fucking alien. I
Well,
think I've told
considering
you this
who's
story.
involved in this project, I kind of do expect them to be somewhat disturbing. Anybody wants to join the show? Regulars, not new people. What's up, Mercurius? You guys know where the link is over in my Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Crafting is almost always here lately, so I'm kind of expecting him.
I think he's got a game this week. I
Oh yeah,
think
that's right.
so.
He's with Bruce. They're doing one of them
Bruce.
insanely long games. My
Yeah,
dog is being a butthead, and
you'll still hear him.
I know. It's because I haven't removed his vocal cords yet.
You
But
can do that. That's a surgery.
I know, but
It's more important than removing their nads.
um,
I don't think you'll survive if you do it yourself, bro. I know you're one of those right wing libtards that freaking are hyper independent and thus do
yeah,
things.
yeah, I can do just about
All
anything.
right wingers are libtards, bro.
Hey, what's up, Brian? Long time no see. Hasn't
Brian,
like it's been a couple of days. Awesome. You want to
we're,
pop in? You're not doing anything. Help us out making some weird ass aliens. We'll try to keep them PG-13, but not really.
if
We
you watch
never.
that video I sent you, which I'm gonna put in chat, I just gotta pull up the chat. Um, so if anybody wants to watch it
You
later, they can.
barking?
Yeah.
Those decent barking.
Wasn't PG-13.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of figured, knowing you and your proclivity
Max.
toward
Yeah.
things such as
No,
Jackie.
it wasn't as bad as my current stint on Degeneracy, but it was comedic.
Cool. Always
It
use a good laugh. I actually like.
uh, wrong kind of comedic.
I actually spent the last about 45 minutes. Uh, they're not players; they're clippers. And
Clippers, yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Mel, I'm just teasing. I love my dog. I would never hurt him, permanently. Um, I spent the last like 45 minutes watching, uh, like just absolutely pointless, wasteful, not doom scrolling, but board scrolling. Uh,
Yeah. Mr. Max and I, Brian, and Phil were riffing off of each other for creating that alien race. So like every time somebody would come up with something, we'd be like, wait, no, I can make that more disgusting.
nice, nice.
Eventually, we decided of like you know how frogs that they switch between gender,
Hmm.
right? They switch between sex.
Hmm.
We had a creature that like a life form that was like that. And their birthing cycle was like, okay, so they become female, they get super morbidly obese, like freaking the ultimate land whale, so fat they can't move. Right,
What's up, Mel?
the male cycle of their life has to bring them food until they propagate, and then part of their propagation is they become male and like soy boys, super skinny, and then they have to run around feeding the ones that are still in their female cycle. It was a lot worse. I'm being very kind. Don't watch it right now.
That's average for a prawn flick.
Uh,
Brian, Mac, you guys want to join us and help us make some aliens? Feel free. I was
yeah.
talking to Raven, and I was, telling her, we're going to try and stick with the 9 planets in our solar system. I suppose we want to throw in Nibiru, that nonsense. That's fine too, or anything within a couple of light years of Earth, so that uh,
Nibiru space station.
yeah.
It's a collection of sometime in the 2170s. A bunch of a bunch of space hippies towed some meteors or asteroids there and locked them into orbit and built a massive space station that's constantly under ecological collapse. Like their biomass gardens for self-sustaining keep breaking down because they're hippies.
Hmm.
They keep trying to grow some patchouli in there.
You shoot the alien with both weapons. What's up, Cal? Cal was in a game earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet that you can do that sort of thing now, Cal. I am
What?
a little envious, but at the same time, I dig the way you play that character. Reminds me of a cross between like Spock and that character from Galaxy Quest. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
what you're shooting for, but nice. And Grandma's RPG Grandma was we thought she wasn't going to be able to make it, and she showed up just in like the nick of time. It was freaking awesome because we needed a cleric because suddenly there were undead, and we were like, oh, and then boom, there's Grandma who's playing Sister Honey, a flying nun sort of Catholic nun, I guess, and she'd just gotten her ability to turn undead, so it was pretty sweet. It was pretty sweet. Of course, I fumbled on a roll to drive our jeep over an embankment, and I ended up dropping everything into a freaking swamp. It was like, oh my god, but it's still fun. The hell was that?
Hmm.
Oh, really? That sounds fun, actually. So you,
Hmm.
you never know what your alien cyborg is gonna come up with next. That's cool. But like I was saying, yeah, we're gonna try to, maybe even I should write this down. Well, give me a second, folks.
Never, never surrender. Never. I can't remember the rest of the one. I flunked out a Star Command training. Never give up, never surrender. I think that's what the line was. Galaxy Quest.
Okay, just for that, I'm giving you reign over the aliens from Uranus.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I am taking control of Mars. I am the chief Martian, and the
Really?
first plan of the seventh Barsunian fleet is to randomly nuke Uranus until Shadow stops making gay porn. So that will be never. I worked it in there.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, Cal. It was a good game. It really was.
There are no aliens on Mars, just people that call themselves Martians.
Okay. Um, I wrote down the nine plus I threw Nibiru on there just for shits and giggles, make Raven happy. Um,
I also took the Bureau, which I already described as a bunch of patchouli uh, smoking. I don't know what the fuck you. I don't know what the fuck you do with patchouli, but
as far
just
as I know, it's an incense and that's about it, and it's nasty.
yeah, yeah. So you smoke it. Um,
No.
well, if it's an incense, you inhale the smoke, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I hate incense unless they're like of the like liquid variety. Any of the other ones, most people don't know this, but a lot of them were made with camel dung, and burning camel shit is not my idea
I
of.
don't think they do that anymore, bro.
I know they did it in the '80s, and I was just laughing at all the hippies, stoner types, like, ooh, let's get rid of the smell of the weed with this. I'm like, the weed smell was better.
Hmm.
Just saying. And now I can't stand the smell of that shit. Weed or patchouli or sandalwood or whatever.
Mm.
So
Uh,
you were gonna say
Cal's talking about your game in the chat.
patchouli is too powerful. May end up allied with the paladins. Yeah, I actually had to step away. Oh, you're trying to get in online? The link is in my uh, Discord. It's at the top. It says live stream links. You should be able to go there. If not, I can
Oh,
send
great!
it
Now
to you.
Felix is going to show up.
No, it's in Discord. I could send it to you directly to Messenger, Facebook kind of thing if you want. Uh,
You never kicked him out of your Discord, bro.
oh, I didn't.
That's what you said.
I'll have to check because to be honest, I think Felix is multiple people, to be honest. Um, but I don't know. And there's like one that I can tolerate, Cal. But for the most part, every time I smell it, I'm with the boy. Like we're shopping at the grocery store, and there's people. It's one thing if it's sort of dissipated from the air, but I don't want him breathing that shit in and.
Getting the contact high, get
Yeah.
used to it,
Yeah. Yep.
and
Yep.
ended up like you.
You picked up six original space opera books for a little over $60. Mac, I've owned that game twice. I might still own it. Uh, you're not in the green room. Let me resend it to you directly, because actually,
You sure you got the right link? Uh,
yeah. Let me just go over to
if you,
Facebook real quick and send it to you direct. Um, like I said, I've owned space opera twice, and the first time, I was really young. Uh,
I'll send it to him on Discord as well if you want directly. Um, that way, if it's just weirdo shit.
yeah, I just sent it to him Messenger. You can check it there. And the first time I read through it, it was, "Hey, what's happening? Oh my God, your whole family's watching us! Awesome." Yeah, I know Cal, but he wants to get into the service, and it stays in your fat and all that crap and hair.
Well, they
And
don't care about that shit in the fucking armed forces, man. They
well,
just want to make sure you're gonna kill people for Jews.
uh,
You damn right well know that.
Uh, in the Air Force, it might be different. They're a little more stringent. I know a kid. Uh,
Oh, they want you to do it from a remote control.
yeah, he went into the Navy and he lied saying he had never done it, and they tested him and found it, from years prior, uh, and he got booted dishonorably, etc., and kind of messed up his whole future. Oh,
Who?
someone's in the chat. Not the chat. There he is, Mr. Weird World War
Maybe
II.
that should go to the fine.
He went into the Navy and he lied saying he
Can
never
you
done
kill
it.
that? Because we
We
got
tested him and
like
found it,
a blast from
from
the
years
echoing times.
prior. Uh, and
Hi, Ravens family.
Brian,
Welcome to
Echo.
the show. We're going to talk about weird stuff for the next 2 hours.
That's
Brian,
in the chat.
what,
There
what
he
the
is.
hell is going on?
Mr. Weird World War II.
He's
Headphones, bro.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Feedback here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? It ain't Brian unless there's something fucked up. There we go.
And it was really complicated, Mac. I'll look and see if I still have a copy of it. But
There we
uh,
go. Is that better?
you know, it
Yes.
was funny. My very
Worlds.
first experience with space opera, I was working at my first game shop. Having a blast there,
Big
and
toe.
I told some guys, "Hey, I want to learn how to play Traveler." And the guy says, "Okay, no problem. Come sit over here. I'll teach you." And he breaks out space opera, and 6 hours later, I was still clueless. The following week, we had a Traveler game. Uh, a guy was actually teaching
This is my
actual
fault.
Traveler, and I learned it like minutes. And I'm like, "Okay, cool. This is easy." Um,
Yeah, games that are unnecessarily confusing are poorly designed.
yeah,
Where's my phone?
Brian, echo, echo, echo.
Is it still echoing?
No, no.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
Okay. That
He's
was
just,
back.
A Mac wrote that in chat.
yeah, he's just.
There's Mel.
Hey,
Me and
Mel,
Mel.
long time no see. Why
No.
aren't you guys making videos?
Make one Monday.
Busy. Very
Just
Okay.
busy.
busy. There's our
That's
stupid
fair.
cat.
That's
Say
fair.
hi,
I'm just gonna give
stupid
you a
cat.
hard time. You guys are so good together when you make your videos. To this day, my favorite one is still the taste test from, was it Japan?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was awful.
That was
I
fun.
don't know if I
That's why it
can
was fun. That's why it was
that.
fun. We could sense, we could almost taste it. You could
Did
hear
you get? Did you get
immediately.
the? Did you get the green stuff? Not right on my tongue.
Seaweed?
the spicy green stuff. What's it called?
Could be anything.
Sounds
Wasabi, but no,
Wasabi.
Wasabi?
Yeah, wasabi Kit
Oh.
Kats. You get the wasabi.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
we
had
had-
a couple of different Kit Kats.
we had
Uh,
like tea, like honey
Yeah, good
tea
ones. The
Kit
Kit Kats
Kats,
are good.
and another. We had 2 different Kit Kats. It was weird.
you
It
know,
was like
I
one was
saw
a
a
tea
video.
flavor, and
Uh,
yeah.
I love my dog, but one of these days, he's just barking at a leaf for someone driving by the house. It's never anything important. Uh, I saw a video. There's like 60 to 160 different kinds of flavors of Kit Kat. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just in Japan.
Yeah.
Just in Japan, and
Yeah.
and
They
and
got like orange tea Kit Kats,
and
shrimp Kit
every time I
Kats.
have a Kit Kat, I can taste the
Yeah,
coconut.
fish.
And once upon a time, I could not stand coconut, but now there's a few
There's
things.
coconut and Kit Kats.
It just has that flavor. If you,
I thought it was a wafer and chocolate. That's
it is, but the chocolate tastes like it's got coconut oil or something in it.
Well, it was weird, like that all that Japanese shit was like a bunch of fish flavors and stuff.
Yeah. And it was disguised. Like it looked like,
It's like-
candy. It
it's
had
like,
happy little
oh.
children on the front.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
candy.
Well, you know
Oh,
what
it's
you got.
Japan.
candy.
There's nothing but starving children in Japan. Don't you remember growing up in the '80s? Your parents would hit you with that.
That was China.
I
You
know.
better
I
eat
know.
that shit. There's starving people in China.
We
Here,
always
they
got
can
India.
have it. They can have mine.
We
Uh,
always
And then it
got
was like
India or
there's starving
Africa.
people in Africa. You better eat that shit.
I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Mac. One of these days we'll have to have a space opera talk. I'll see if I can find my copy. Because it was what Game Designers Workshop or Fantasy Games Unlimited is one of those companies.
If it's overly complex, they weren't game designers.
It's true.
Uh,
Shit, man.
Mac's saying
Think
it's
about
tech.
the most complex thing I've ever played, like, on the tabletop was fucking Starfleet Commander, like the original. It was like you had to have a degree in fucking astrophysics to fucking play.
You had to
man.
graduate Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, dude. It was
Wait,
like
which
you had
one
to
was
put
that?
you had to put like energy in the damn shitter,
Oh, you
on the
mean
starship.
you mean Starfleet Battles?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was Starfleet Commander, like the I think it was Starfleet Commander, the first one.
I
Dude,
don't remember.
it was like lots of math,
Oh, I wouldn't have been able to play that.
but yeah.
No.
Oh, he's fucking leaving. I scared Mac off.
Take care, Mac. We'll
Take it
see
easy,
you.
buddy.
Maybe I'll
Hurry
look
up,
at
Mac.
the PDF and we can maybe you can help me out, make me
It's
see.
probably on that index I sent you. That
What it was I was missing about it, because so many people still regard that game very highly, and I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled with Traveler, or just set in my ways. I love Traveler. It's such a great all-encompassing system that lets you do just about anything really, really easy and really quickly. So, Brian, I don't know if you heard, we're making up new alien races for a campaign we might run later on down the road. So, like I said before, we're just going to stick with the main 9 planets in our solar system. Nibiru, just because we've got a bunch of
hippies.
who believe that that's a
Filthy
thing.
hippies.
And if none of those appeal to you, I suppose we can go to, I think Alpha Centauri is the nearest star to us, being like 4 light
There's
years
three.
away.
There's three.
Three what?
Alpha A, Alpha B, and Proxima.
Okay.
Jeez, my planet. Well, check this out, guys. So I watched some video.
No, 3 stars. There's
Oh.
3 stars there.
That are close to us within.
No, that's the Alpha Centauri star cluster.
Oh, okay.
It's a trinary star system.
I watched some interesting shit on like space exploration, like for real. And they're saying that, although we want to go to, when we set bases on, the moon and Mars and shit, they've really been talking about doing Titan. But, because
We've
of
been
the
talking about Titan for
distance
years, though.
it's so fucking far Titan has an atmosphere, whereas Mars doesn't, and the Moon doesn't. And one of the biggest things without an atmosphere is you get fucking fried by cosmic radiation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like
We
they're
can't.
well, no, they're theorizing that if there are going to be bases on the Moon or on Mars, they're going to have to be underground because just there's no atmosphere to reduce the cosmic radiation coming hitting the surface.
You could probably make one on Mars though. It wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, they talk about the terraform and stuff, but you know the one thing they say about Titan is that it's just so fucking far.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty far.
Yeah. There have been multiple movies and TV shows where Titans is always like predominant, and we've been hearing about it. I think it was the first time I heard about it was either 2001 or 2010, Space Odyssey.
Now, that was out in Jupiter.
Was
I
it
think
Jupiter?
that was Titan's
Uh,
a moon of Saturn.
Yeah.
And
Maybe,
then
um,
okay, yeah, you're
yeah,
right. It was Europa.
Europa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europa's the one in
the
Jupiter's orbit.
the
Now I got the damn song stuck in my head.
Europa.
the end of book 2, which I think they cut off for the movie, makes that world seem like a nightmare to me, because the obelisk ignites the atmosphere of Jupiter, turning it into another sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes the moons all habitable because a lot of them are Earth sized.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but they're awfully close.
Yeah, I guess
It'd be like
it's a
it'd
much
be like
smaller.
Venus or Mercury or something.
It's a much smaller, like it's a really small star.
Yeah. That was a cool look. 2001 is interesting. I mean, it's
You ever
got
read
cool
all three of them?
visuals and shit. But 2010 was really fucking good. It was more of a linear
Mhm.
movie, more
Yeah, less of that psychedelic.
artistic. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think 2010 was, and they kind of told you what the fuck it was all about. You know?
Yeah. Because I remember when I was a youngster reading sci-fi, my mom's like, "Oh, she saw I had 2001," and I'm like, and she's like, "Oh, you'll never understand that one. It's too weird. Try something a little,
I like the books a lot better than the movies.
Mhm. And I read it, and she didn't know, but I also had the comic books, and the comic books,
I didn't know there was a comic.
yeah, they were actually like Jack Kirby did like the art. They were really helpful to understand what was going on. Wish they would have had a comic book for Black Hole, because I had to wait until I was 56 to understand what the heck was going on in that movie. It was so simple.
I had to watch a YouTube video. I couldn't. I couldn't sit through it to bother caring about it. It was just so boring.
Yeah, but I read the book. I think I might even still have the paperback, but I couldn't understand what they were trying to say at the end, and it was just simple.
They're all dead.
Well, no, it leads to either heaven or hell.
Yeah, it's the same ending as The Sopranos.
Well, The Sopranos was later, so just saying.
No. That's not how time works.
That's not how time. Okay. Apparently, Justin has been smoking some patchouli before the show. I would have never put it past him, or never suspected, but.
I ate my pizza. That's like
Okay,
patchouli
so
to
Raven,
people.
if you're going to be in the chat and you can't make it, what planet do you want? I'm guessing you want Venus, but
She's already got Uranus. That's why I'm at war with it.
I sent her an email just to let her know.
because we're in this experiment, we're creating aliens that aren't.
I didn't feel comfortable. I drove by there. I was going to stop by.
It's always till he comes back.
You know you can mute him, right?
Yeah, I should. I should just mute him for the rest of the show. Watch him. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah. He's talking about like personal shit and crap.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more fun to just eavesdrop. Raven, being her usual self. What?
Okay.
We won't be playing these aliens that we create, unless your character your first character dies, and then which case, you could make up an alien, but it would be better if you made up an alien from somebody else's planet. That would be funnier, I think.
They're picking planet.
Sorry, guys. It's
Yeah,
been crazy here at the trailer park.
mute your mic next time so we don't, you know,
Did you hear what we were talking about?
every last word.
A
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, just fucking.
No, we didn't say nothing.
We didn't say shit.
We're
Anywho,
So, anyways,
But-
Brian, we're making up aliens, and they're going to be for the game that I'm going to be running, I guess. But it's not. They're not going to be player characters. They're going to be, the alien races that are in the background, or
are they sentient? Are they just kind of like animals?
No. They're all Star Trekian sentient.
People.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're people.
Peoples.
They're
Yeah,
people.
but just something to because it's going to be more
We're
or
not
less.
allowed to kill them or force them to do labor against their will.
The players are going to be humans,
Right.
just because.
Fucking space hippies.
Oh my God.
I gotta get out of here.
Mel just threw down the pronouns. Do they have pronouns? She's joking,
if
everybody.
that's how you
She's
want to.
joking.
If that's how you want to.
I know.
Roll.
Well, that video I put in the chat, I don't know if those people have pronouns.
Yeah.
If you have to tell me your pronoun and I can't figure it out,
Yeah, man.
you probably have bigger fish to
got dibs
fry.
on
Just
it.
saying.
She must be like the creature.
No. It's not true.
Oh, that's your pronoun.
Dibs.
Rat. That's her pronoun.
Yeah.
Rat.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you're talking about aliens. We watched all of the Thing movies. So we watched the original It from Another World. The month, whatever the fuck, the 50s one, which is great.
Yeah.
Everybody, if you haven't seen it, James
Get the
Arness is the
antennae.
one.
Get the antennae.
No, that's them.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
It and then we watched the prequel, which was supposed to happen before Carpenter's It, and then we watched.
Wait.
Carpenter's
It or
the Thing? The Thing. I'm sorry, I'm saying It.
Man.
The Thing. Yeah, the Thing.
Okay.
I was gonna.
I was like, but yeah, so we're sitting there, and so after watching all three of those, I'm trying to think like this, what this alien is. I mean, on screen we probably never saw its original form. It's because I mean, how could a creature like that even because they're talking about when they do the blood test, right? And they said that if it's the Thing's blood, it won't listen to. It'll try to escape and self preservation and do whatever. But just imagine if your body, let's say your lungs, right, are like the Thing's lungs, and you start smoking a cigarette, and it just jumps out of your chest and runs away because you're toxifying it. It's it or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, how could that? Now that's some alien shit, right? If you got to your body parts, if your shoes are too tight, your foot is like, fuck you, we're out of here. It hurts. We're gone.
One guy on the Thing, he was like, "Turn down your music. I just got shot today." The music, I think, was hurting his ears because he was the Thing at that
No, he
point. And it was
wasn't.
costing his ears.
He wasn't the Thing.
Yeah,
No, he
it was
wasn't.
licked all over his mouth.
No,
and his
he wasn't the Thing. And that's another thing. You guys watch the Thing and figure out who's who and what's what and who got who got turned at the beginning or anyway. But no, it's interesting. It's because this creature, every bit of it has some sort of self preservation instinct. So think about that. If it's a creature upon itself and it's every bit is alive and can think for itself if it had to, how could that thing even be one thing? You know what I mean? How could it even exist? Anyway.
Well, I've watched a couple of videos on that movie lately, and I'm more intrigued by the spaceship because, if you said, it probably wouldn't even build a spaceship. So I'm wondering if it was one of those situations where it was the only thing that survived on the ship.
On the spaceship,
Maybe it was like the xenomorph, and it was just trying to get anywhere but on that ship. And
see, that's That's a good point. It's like it hitched a ride. It's not it's not
in the alien body.
it's not it's not the creator of the ship. It just happened to be the survivor from the ship. Yeah,
Yeah, because
I thought about that.
if you think about a creature like that, naturally
Yeah,
they wouldn't even bother with technology. They've got, they could,
It's just a parasite.
they need a car, they turn into a bird, or they need to go
yeah.
underwater. They just change to fit the circumstances, and they would never really, you know, have science. They would just be this apex predator that they didn't, need any of that stuff. And then when it comes across, intelligent life that's completely alien to it, and it's got all these toys and these gadgets and stuff, it would be like, you're an abomination, building these contraptions. Why aren't you like us? And just
If
you
it
need
even
something, you
thinks
just
that
make it.
much. If it even thinks that much.
Right. It might not. It might be, little above a cockroach or a jaguar in its
Well, I
thinking
mean,
process, because it doesn't need to.
they
The thinking
theorized
process.
that it retains whatever it
It,
mimics.
it's fictional, Brian. So
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, but I'm talking about like it's an interesting creature. I mean, it's like it's very alien, and that if that's one problem with creating aliens is we get stuck in the tropes of just it's human-esque, but it's just different.
That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to break free of tonight, and make things that are.
did you watch that video I made with
No, I haven't finished it. Remember, you said not to finish watching it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're going to try and come up with, one race per participant that is, if you want to make a humanoid, that's cool. I'd like to see
Didn't they
things that
do
are.
this before? I thought I created like a crystalline creature
Maybe,
before.
this is like our second or third year doing this crap, but this is for a very specific game. So we're coming at
Okay.
it, I guess, again, and actually keeping track of our results. Whereas the last time, if we did this, it was just for shits and giggles, because I am going to try to run this campaign somewhere down the road, but all the people involved are actually going to, more or less help build the world and the universe before we get there. That way, they have a little more stake in it and have some built-in knowledge of, the
What's
world
going
at
down?
large. Pardon me?
What's going down?
Yeah. That way, Raven's character could be an expert on Martians or Venusians, even though she's a human and never been there, or maybe she's been there. Maybe she, spent a summer vacation on Venus with her folks, and that sort of thing, or whatever. But you could work that into your backstory later. I just want
Raven
to.
would love that. She loves spending time with her parents.
Exactly.
Oh,
They're probably still watching with her, try to learn all kinds of. So this is what you do with your free time? You hang out with these weirdos? Yes, that's exactly what
Freaks.
she does. Um, she probably.
if Raven's parents are still watching, spend more time with her. She likes you. She likes spending time with you.
She
If she
misses you
says
dearly.
otherwise, she's lying.
Well, she would never say otherwise.
Yeah.
We're probably getting her in all kinds of trouble. They're like, so they just slam the doors as they left.
There's monocles in the soup and everything tonight.
Monocles in the soup.
They getting the vapors. I'm getting the vapors watching this. Oh,
I
she's
think you're that
drinking.
old.
There you go. Hey, babe, give me a beer. Give me a beer, woman. See,
Oh.
I got her a good night. She's listening to me.
Yeah, well, she's on camera. She wants to, she wants to look good
Yeah, that's
for
now.
her reputation. That way, you know. But I'm
So,
sure you'll
so
pay for it later.
Yeah.
so we've been learning about Gorian society, or
Gorian, yeah,
yeah. Remember, you were looking that up.
Star Trek?
Gore.
Gore, like the
Oh,
novels. Gore.
Gore, like the band?
No, like the
Not
books.
Gore. The John Norman novels,
Oh,
BDSM.
okay. Oh, Gore. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
like He-Man / space stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He-Man with lots more bondage.
Yeah, didn't oh fuck, what's his name? The guy who did Space Mutiny. He played Gore in that movie.
He was in
He was a Captain
Matlock.
America in the Captain America 1970s
Oh,
TV
that
movie.
was so good.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
was
that's
it
him.
him? Was him?
Yeah.
There was
Yeah, I
another
kinda-
one. There was a knockoff. There was a knockoff of it that was like very similar. That starred the guy that played the doughy sidekick in Matlock. Was it Matlock?
No, that's not him. God, okay, Beef McLarge from the MST
Yeah,
3000.
yeah. We know who you're talking
Brett
about.
Chisel Chest.
But I'm telling you, there's like the B version of the Gore movie.
yeah,
Gosh, damn.
Gore and then Outlaw of Gore. I only saw. Did I
No,
see
no,
both of
no,
them?
no. It's not a Gore movie.
Oh,
It's a literal ripoff.
oh,
But the Gore character, because it has the exact same opening. The main character guy, I can't remember his name, is played
I cannot
by
remember that guy's name. Look
uh, sidekick from Matlock.
okay.
I
Oh,
thought Matlock had a black sidekick. He was like the.
Are you
Oh
sure
no, I
you're
know who you're
thinking-
talking about. Yeah, he's like kind of like a
Night-
comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I know the black guy you're talking about. He was in that too. I'm talking about like his.
I know who you're talking about.
Cliff Lewis was the character's name.
Jesus,
fuck. Daniel
Reb
Roebuck.
Brown played Gore.
Red Brown, yeah, he was the made for TV Captain America, right? Like you said,
Yeah, the 70s movie.
Yeah, was it that far back?
Yeah.
That was like
I want to say it also had Red Skull in it, right?
yeah.
No, that was an 80s or 90s one. That was
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's a different one. Red Brown, like Captain America's helmet was like a bike helmet. With like
yes, it was like a
It's pretty
spray
bad.
painted blue motorcycle helmet.
Exactly, it's a
With little,
motorcycle
little
helmet, yeah.
paper wings on it.
Mhm.
Paper wings.
I never got the.
I mean, he married a girl who played in one of the greatest Canadian series
what's
of
up,
movies
George?
ever. Porky's.
Okay.
That was a Canadian production, Porky's.
Yeah.
And
I know Porky's is a Canadian production, bro.
Dude, that's a
you
badass
think
series.
I don't know? It's on Tubi for free if you want to watch it.
Oh, that's great. Anybody who had not seen Porky's needs to.
The movie I'm thinking of is called Cave Girl.
Cave. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, which is like Roebuck's second film or whatever. Before
It
he did a
wasn't
stint
the
on Love
it
Boat.
wasn't the Edgar Rice Burroughs version. I looked at it.
Yeah. We had this conversation before, I think.
Yeah, but they weren't there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the Edgar Rice Burroughs version, but it's literally a fucking like it starts off as a almost beat for beat rip off of Gore until they just didn't have enough money to continue the story because there's too much going on in the book. So that this just like had some hot chick running around and all that crap.
Well, every movie should have that.
Yes,
we need to
I
stop
second
doing
that.
like aliens and shit. We need to talk about like cave women, stuff like that.
You know what? I've been watching a lot of videos on the comics of the 40s and 50s, and that was a big thing. That
Hey,
Yeah,
I
She-Ra,
called Mars.
Sheena and She-Ra and Tiger. I think one of the
Lily.
first female comic book characters was like a Jungle Woman or something like that. But it was before Wonder Woman. It was before
Yep.
all that. I think it was Jungle Girl or something like that. It was like a
I think it was
jungle
Jungle
woman.
Girl, but yeah, that was like it was weird. There was a weird fascination with that for a good, I want to say about 10 years. George, you know where the link is. You want to join us making some aliens for this game that will probably run probably next year uh, at some
Yeah,
point, but we've got a lot of work to do. So what's
there'll be random nights of the week. Random Sunday nights was the plan,
we could do that or alternating or one of the,
Saturday nights.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
not Sunday nights.
Yeah, I might be able to do Sunday night.
Well, you're welcome back anytime you like, man. Folks have missed you, and they keep asking, "When's Brian coming back?" Same with you,
Me
Mac.
too, man. Man, when I get off work, I'm fucking exhausted, dude.
Yeah, I know Sunday is kind of rough, but it's like one of the only nights I got left, and
I think I can do Sunday.
so
I say aliens need to be big. They need to not. My whole thing is like make them different, make them alien. You know what I
well,
mean?
you're going to show us how it's done. No, Porky's
Right.
could not be made today because it would get
Oh hell
canceled as
no.
soon as you mention the name. 1 million
Uh,
years BC. I've only seen images from that. I'd love to see that one of these days.
You know,
Okay, no
surprisingly
worries.
good movie was Quest for Fire.
It
That was actually a
wasn't.
pretty good caveman movie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. There were a few things that were kind of unbelievable. Daryl Hannah,
Yeah,
for example. You know,
but it's a lot more
No
believable
cave woman
than.
ever looked that good. Just saying.
Well, it's better than what
Quest for
Clan of the
Fire.
Cave Bear. That was like who was in that?
Or or is that the one I'm thinking of with Daryl Hannah?
That's the one with Daryl Hannah, Clan of the
Okay.
Cave Bear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
I
one
think Ray,
was.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Radon Chong is in Quest for Fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Her and Ron Pullman
Ron
and
Perlman, yeah.
Well, he was an actual caveman.
Yeah, he
So
is a fucking actual cave
either that or he's one of those white gorillas.
yeah.
from Congo or whatever, or
Yep,
from
yep, yep.
Carter.
He was. They didn't put any makeup on him. You know, just
I mean,
walked
it's like
out.
what, like Beauty and the Beast, man, right? I mean,
Yeah, the original. I tried watching that and it was just so fucking bad, man.
dude, that's so
It
painful.
really was, and every chick who was into it,
Loved it.
highly no, the women that loved it, highly suspect, and I worry about them and their developmental growth over the years, because that was just
Well, it's really sad I couldn't watch it because I listened
Yeah,
to um, Martin, George R. Martin, talk about it because he was one of the chief writers on it, right?
mhm.
And
on what?
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah,
Wasn't J. Michael Straczynski as well?
maybe, I don't know.
Who's
I'd
that?
have to check. Babylon 5. You gotta
Oh,
credit that.
Yeah, George, you beat me to it, man. Nova had them all beat. Got to admit, from
I
Planet
don't
of the
know,
Apes.
dude. I mean, are they really cave people though? I don't think they're cavemen, are they?
They're
Well,
regressed. I have
yeah,
no problem
I
with
mean, they didn't have any
regressed.
caves because the mutants were all living in the caves, but you know,
Well, they probably had some caves.
You could
maybe
say, oh, was it who played the girl, the main girl, the sexy girl from the movie Caveman, the comedy?
with Ringo Starr, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
she was pretty hot. That was a
Uh,
funny. That was a pretty funny movie. I have to admit, that was
I saw it, but I
easy
can't
for the.
remember a thing about it.
Caveman.
I keep getting it mixed up with the Life of Brian for some
Oh
reason.
yeah, that's
Well,
great.
that's a great film.
That is
Life of
awesome.
Brian. Oh, Dennis Quaid's in that film.
Is it
Caveman.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's his like sidekick, his buddy. That's right.
Yeah, and it's Shelley Long.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
girl. Yeah,
yeah,
the
I
love
couldn't
interest.
stand her
Yeah.
either.
Shelley Long's in that.
Yeah, I got forced to. I got forced
No,
to
it's
watch.
it's it's not Shelley Long. It's the other. It's the. I think she's Czech. Let me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Big Cheeks.
Yeah.
Overlander,
Okay.
do you know how to send that link to me in Discord? 'Cause
Barbara Bark.
You
Barbara
won't be able to
Bach,
send
that's
it
it.
here.
Yeah.
She's a hottie.
I could see that, but I don't know.
So
I'm partial to a little flatter in the cheek area.
Extremely affordable miniatures, huh? What kind of miniatures?
Extremely affordable.
I got a 3D
Just
printer, man. Almost all miniatures are affordable for me now.
just look in the back of my trunk.
This is like what you need. I got it. If I don't have it, I can print it.
Oh, I'm looking at the new Mars. I'm gonna get that. Thinking soon, maybe.
New Mars. What's that?
The new Elegoo Mars, the
Oh
4 or
yeah, the
5,
new printer. I got a buddy who just gave me a bigger
the Saturn.
Elegoo,
Yeah.
the Saturn. Yeah, I haven't used it yet though. So like one of the reasons we haven't been on the board, man, is that we were gonna move, right? And it fucking fell through. So we had packed up half the fucking house, and then like
well, that sucks, man.
all boxes and shit. So yeah, it sucks.
Well, it's good time to
Oh, you
redecorate and organize shit.
No,
That
Overlander, I would like the link.
Yeah,
I don't have
Overland.
a 3D
Yeah, man. Shit.
I don't have
Minis are
a
minis.
3D printer. I mean, I do, but it's a FDM and blah blah blah. But I don't think you can drop it here. You
no,
can even,
not without being an
if you're
admin.
on my Discord, you can do it there. If not, then I'm pretty sure you're probably friends with Raven on Facebook or me, and you can send it there.
Yeah, shit. I'm always up for
Yeah,
minis, man.
just because I have 10,000 unpainted minis doesn't mean I don't want
10,000 more.
10,100 unpainted
So
minis.
okay, shit. So here's my dirty secret that I'm gonna start doing here, guys.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna tell you guys now. Is I think I'm gonna start hiring people to paint my fucking minis, man. Because
Um,
I do not have the fucking time, and my eyesight has gone to shit, and I have found that I probably have more money than I do time or patience to do it. So
listen to
yeah,
him, Mr. Moneybags. All of a sudden,
I mean it's weird.
that's
I
how
mean, I
you
have
are.
never had this much extra money just floating around.
Cool.
So
Glad to hear it,
cool.
dude.
What you need to do is have some more kids. That way you can tase them into painting your miniatures.
Yeah. So
No,
in 14 years.
Hell, I
No,
got
no, no,
kids
no,
now,
no.
and they have no interest in gaming at all,
Well,
dude.
it's because you're not appropriately using the taser.
All right,
I keep
Orlando,
telling you
we'll see you
about
later.
this.
Send that link to Raven if you can, or me on Facebook,
You
because
weirdo,
it just
Overlander.
won't let you post a link here. Or you can just tell us the
For
name of the
very good
company.
pornographic reasons. Not
Uh-huh.
that Shadow
Yeah.
has a problem with that. Not that Shadow has a problem with that.
Steak and 2 veggies, kind of
Wedding tackle.
wedding tackle.
That's like the best, isn't it?
That's pretty good. I don't think I've heard of that wedding tackle. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. It's old
Yeah,
school.
it's a British one, I believe. So back on topic, if nobody minds, pick a planet. Ryan,
I already said
Um,
Mars.
where are your aliens from?
shit. I mean, if we're
Well,
going by,
Uranus is still available.
well, I was gonna say I'd probably go Venus.
Raven's
Yeah.
already got Venus. Sorry, dude.
Oh.
You got all the other 8 to go.
Saturn's pretty
Nibiru.
cool.
So
Okay,
Where?
so like if I pick a planet, do I get all the moons to it as well?
Yeah. They could even be from one of the moons. In some cases,
he's just gonna go to Jupiter and like create 19 races.
Shit. I don't fucking know. There's a lot more than just like the planets in our solar. There's tons of shit floating around in our solar
we're
system.
trying to keep it to as a kind of a low.
George took Mexico.
Okay, well, nice. We're picking like kind of a low tech sci-fi setting, if you will. Not like warp speed and crap like that. We're just getting out there and we're learning.
It's
Hey,
2150, bro. That's 2150.
I'll write that down.
What the hell, dude? Whatever. Anyway, see ya. I'm sorry you
What?
feel that way, but whatever.
Who are you talking to?
Anyway, I'll pick Saturn. Saturn's pretty cool.
What? Brocklander, we've always been totally cool to you.
I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, I just I can't
I mean,
can't post
I've
the
been a
link here,
minis
bro.
collector for 30, 40 years, dude. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
What the
that's
Probably
fuck
seen
is
every.
Outlander talking about?
Anyway, yeah, Saturn. I'd have to like research like Saturn's like environment, right? To like kind
I
of
think I
get
have a
like,
Costello in space.
yeah, shit. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, Overlander. We've never been anything but nice to you, man.
Yeah, Overlander. Yeah,
Yeah, unless that's not really Bronklander and it's somebody just coming in to troll, uh,
yeah.
wanting to be able to post links. We can't do that here. It's not anything against you. It's just that's how it works. So I'll have Raven look into it. She knows how to get a hold of him.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
don't
I mean,
have a 3D printer, so
it seems like most of the
yeah.
planets out in the outer part of the solar system,
uh,
it's like heavy and they're like heavy, like super cold. Obviously, first of all,
right. Hmm.
the
Yeah.
creatures have to be, good with cold, and then
Fur
like
monsters.
pressure, right? Like the pressures of the atmospheres, if the planets have atmosphere.
Jupiter and Saturn, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Would pressure would mean you need to be smaller in stature or bigger? Probably smaller.
Well, if it's less pressure, bigger. Or if it's more pressure, smaller.
Right.
Well,
That's
yeah,
how
but like,
pressure works, bro.
yeah, but I mean, like Saturn. I mean, it's like
Well,
like crushing pressure. Probably
Well,
need to be
is it
that's part
on
of
smaller.
the that's part of
Saturn
the
or one of its moons?
that's part of the
Yeah,
experiment. Is part of the experiment is to I suppose you could come up with the alien first, and then the planet that it comes from, depending on what you
yeah.
come up with. Um, but I
I'm
know,
taking Mars though. I call Mars.
yeah, yeah, because I'm thinking the same along the same lines as you, Brian. Once you get past Mars, you're looking at things that are going to be vastly different and very either cold blooded or not cold
Extreme.
blooded, but
Yeah.
they're going to be used to cold environments, uh, unlike anything we can imagine, and therefore they would be biologically made up completely different than everything we could imagine for the most part, except like tardigrades and cephalopods and things like that that could
Tardigrades. What is
that
this
could,
tardigrade you speak of?
Those
not a
microscopic,
tardigrade,
like
the
little
water bears.
bug. Yeah, water
Yeah,
bears.
yeah, yeah.
Not
No,
not
no, no. It's just that
not
that
not to
they,
be not to be confused with water babies like Justin, but
they use those in one of those Star Trek shows. I'm just like making sure you're not.
they use tardigrades.
Yeah,
That's cool, I
I heard
suppose.
some like scandal about the tardigrade.
yeah. They ripped off the whole Destiny TV show was ripped off with some guy's Reddit storyline.
Yeah, well,
Dude, you suck when you're stealing fan fiction off of Reddit to
Well, it was
make in your fucking show.
original content, but he was like talking about his story idea and shit like that, and that they ripped it off wholesale.
yeah,
Dude,
absolutely, George. That's the whole point is to you know people this solar system that you guys are going to run through with things that maybe because you're making your rock monster. You'll have some background on it. You'll know some stuff about it,
Is it
but
is it
I'm going to
is it
take it and run with it. And basically,
well, let me. Is it a rock lobster?
rock lobster.
you guys are doing my work for me so that I can just fall back on your aliens.
Well, you said he was making a rock monster. I want to know if it's a rock lobster.
Like, can we? I mean, is there anything original anymore, man? It's just like,
Well,
you
that's
know,
kind of what we're hoping to do here.
tentacles are done. Fucking lobster claws and
It's
fucking
how you imagine it, bro.
rocks and I don't
Well,
know.
that's part of the experiment is to see if people can actually, still do that, or if we're going to have to, from this point on, we can market. There's nothing new under the sun. It's already been done.
But
Simpsons did it.
if we're ripping stuff off, I'm taking Homo Draconis from the what were those books called by the guy that wrote those alternative history? The ones where the South Africans rose up during World War II.
Not right now.
The Drac books.
Enemy Mine.
No,
because they were called Drac too, weren't they?
Alternative history thing, right?
Yeah. It was sort of.
I know what you're talking about. They like ride dragons and shit.
No. There's no dragons. There's just South Africans, and they build an empire of serfs, or take over the world.
That's definitely fiction right there. South Africa's taking over the world.
They were the fourth largest economy at one time.
Shit.
Yeah. Before 1991, they were the fourth largest economy on the planet.
South Africa was?
Yep.
Wow. That's hard to believe. Huh.
Okay, well let's move past the planet. I'm gonna write that down.
I kind of like the idea. Well, who mentioned something about like they roll like on their cyborg to see what it is? I remember in the past there was like it was Cat.
It was Cal.
He was talking. It was Cal. I remember in the old Warhammer, like the original, like the
Rogue Trader.
The Rogue Trader stuff. They would have like you roll in a D100, right? And there would just be like hundreds of your demon has horns and stock eyeballs and whatever, and you would just roll on this massive chart, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's also a chart like that in the original Dungeon Master's Guide for you randomly roll up all the different attributes and things, appearance and weaponry and special abilities and stuff like that. We're trying to do that without using a book. And just spitballing here.
Eric, what's up, dude?
Adios Africa was a tough documentary to watch. Never even heard of it, but then again, I haven't watched the last documentary I watched was Sting's Dream of the Blue Turtle. And that was like 3 months ago. The D1000 Chaos chart.
Oh, that is, you're right. On the books, the Chaos books, it was a D1000. My mistake. It was a D1000. Because it was it was like 5 fucking pages of like attributes of what your demon was gonna be, and it was just like, and then they have like the names, like like Zill, Monster Chunk or whatever your fucking the name of it's gonna be. You could roll on that too. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So I don't know. Is this universe going to be? Are these planets like they have like economies and armies? And
well, that's entirely up to
people make
like
how the world unfolds.
Yeah, Justin. If he decides he's going to make X race, and well, in order for them to exist as a society, let's say they have to have things.
I sent you both the link to that book series on Audible, so you can like read the descriptions and of what's going on now.
Okay,
I heard of that. What you're talking about? Because I might have done because it is like during World War II, right?
It starts off. You know that YouTuber guy that we both like, the one that did the economy of Star Trek.
Yeah.
He has a whole series on that book series.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Drac.
So let's go over some of the physical, appearances and genetics and things like that. Let's start with one of the most basic: sex. You got
female. That's their sex.
No, I mean you got binary. You got
their sex is female.
They're just all females. Didn't they make that movie? What was that? Martian Witches or something like that?
Martian Witches.
I just watched it.
Is it
It
a
was,
is it
it
a
was an old
serious
black.
movie?
No, it was an old black and white movie. I think uh, it might have been in color, but I'll have to look it up.
Is it like the
Uh,
Fire Maidens of Mars or something like that? That's an
yeah,
old
but
one.
I don't think it was fire. But it was something, witches or whatever, and it was pretty cheesy. But who here doesn't like cheese, right?
Hell
So,
yeah.
Well, I
right.
love the actual food cheese.
So Brian, you got an index card handy?
Oh, let me
You
get
can
a
write.
pen
Just need to
here.
write some of this stuff
You can
down.
open up Notepad on your PC there.
Wow, man, come on, man. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm into pen and papers.
Yep, same here. Same here.
I
So
I I'm a eco fascist. Just because the word fascist is in the title,
Crypto
so
fascist.
I'm a crypto fascist, an open fascist, an eco fascist, a fascist
Hive Queen.
fascist.
Okay, George, is that what you're going with?
I
So basically how they reproduce. Is there two sexes? Is there one? Is there 12? I don't care. Just write it down because I don't really need this information until next week when you come back and tell us all about it. And if for some reason Brian can't come and make it, he'll just type it all out and then I'll read it off for you guys so that uh,
all
you
right.
know he gets he at
So
least gets
it's
credit.
how do they? Oh, shit, I don't know. Yeah.
They
All
get
right.
jiggy with it with a small cherub like creature
Hmm.
that
I'll do something
exists in
very
your
alien.
eco.
Yeah, just keep
Yeah,
it to yourself. But if you have questions, then we can hash it out amongst us. But I've already got mine. It's pretty simple.
weird freaky
Yeah,
aliens for Shadow.
right. Okay. Then
That's why I'm labeling this file. Weird
okay.
freaky aliens for Shadow.
Okay. Cool. Um, and next, I guess would be like biology. Are they an avian? Are they a mammal? Are they a reptile? Are they something brand new? Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
they a crustacean? Uh, they a silicon life form, an amoeba type, single celled life form.
Oh, that's lame.
It's been done.
Yeah.
The
So how you gonna
Draslite,
do a traveler game with an amoeba?
they did it in Star Frontiers. It was the Draslite. They were like the Shmoo or Gloop and Gleep from the Herculoids. Somebody sent me, or I saw
Maybe
it.
like a giant one, like
Yeah,
massive. Okay, I got you. Like
Yeah.
the blob.
that channel that does the retro like 1950s versions of
Oh
Batman.
yeah,
The one
the
they did
AI
on
stuff.
the Herculoids was freaking awesome, and the one they did for Thunder on the
I
Barbarian.
sent you the one for Thundar.
Yeah, that was really
That
good.
Thunder one was good. I've seen that one. I just watched
There's a bunch of them.
the Wacky Racers.
I saw
Remember
that
that
one
shit?
too. I didn't watch it, but I saw it. I'm like, you're just grabbing everything now, aren't you?
I
Yeah,
Okay,
love that.
that's what they're doing.
that's awesome. You know, I think there was a Johnny Quest one that I wanted to
Yeah.
watch, but I'll have to go back and
No, the best Johnny Quest parody is
Venture Brothers.
Venture Brothers.
Oh hell yeah.
Sulfur based, yeah. I mean, because like, well, yeah, we're definitely going down the abyss tonight. But how is that any different from any other night? But George, like for example, I don't know squat about a sulfur based life form. Never heard of anything like that. But
You know,
if you've got if you've done some research, wait, dang it, I was trying to get you on here. George, will you stop it? Welcome to the show,
you know what would
George.
be interesting is have
Hey.
like an alien race that like if a human like were to,
Where the hell does George come from?
to ingest it or smell them, it's like a high, and they're like, so the humans are like harvesting them as like a drug, like their bodies. That'd be kind of cool.
That could be
Like if they're
very
if they're gaseous in form, and like Justin walks in there and takes a big snort to him.
whiff, and he just committed genocide, killed
He
like
just
80 of
killed
them.
like just killed somebody. He just snorted them up.
Yeah, but once he gets to like 100 and gets full, then they start taking over. Next thing you know, he's laying eggs, and spouting tentacles and.
Well, I told you how I'm running my race, so you fuckers better run to another star. Or learn how to fetch drinks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, one cool idea with that, when we were talking about earlier about the planets they're from, they could be from the sun, like the
Mhm.
Catan in 40K.
Mm-hmm.
Or that one.
Eighteen are from the sun?
I think so.
Really?
There's
Well,
what's that book
they live in it,
series?
or they like. It's part of one of the reasons why I think their son was the son of the Necrons was like all messed up because it had a Catan living in it, and it was just kind of eating its energy.
That's very disturbing, Anon, but we know it's feasible.
I mean, look at chiggers. That's what they basically do. They put their eggs in your freaking skin when they bite you.
Chiggers.
Yeah, the little bug.
Oh,
bot worms.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said
Botflies.
chiggers.
Botflies.
When you said chiggers, I was thinking
Space Above Beyond.
The chigs, yeah, those are cool.
The chicks. They're secretly human.
Spoilers.
No. Oh well, they canceled the show 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yes.
Is that what it was in the books?
What?
Because is that canon or
That was the last episode of the series that they were from Earth.
really? I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
that was like
that.
the revelation right at the end of the final episode.
That's it. That's
I
another
didn't
cool
know.
concept. Where like
yeah, go.
like the Silurians in Doctor Who, where they're an alien species, but they're basically sort of intelligent dinosaur people,
Right.
which were asleep for a few million years until they figured it'll be a few million years till the asteroid impact.
So they put
that's a great series to look at aliens is Doctor Who because they really fucking went out and made some crazy shit.
They smoked a lot of fucking acid on that show.
Did. I remember didn't they have like some mannequin people?
Yeah.
Automatons or something like that.
The sentient plastic.
Asteroids or something.
Yeah, that was with Roger Delgado, the original master, was in that one.
Oh, he was great.
Where the hand would pop down and the little gun would stick out. So cheesy, but
he was the best master.
He was literally the best master. When they had that master in the David Tennant version, I was just like, this blows. This is so.
Yeah, that guy was like,
It
gay.
was so.
It's like the new master is like some like Indian kid. He's like 20 years old. He's like
they brought him back again.
Some shit. I don't
know. There was a woman for a little bit.
That was the Doctor.
I quit.
I quit halfway through. The old guy that was there.
That's the last season I watched before Dr. Who turned into a woman.
Yeah,
I was done at the end of his thing too.
I was done.
I couldn't watch that season.
I was done with when David Tennant left the first time, and then I saw when he came back. Suddenly, the Doctor's gay, and he's been gay the whole time. I'm like, no.
When they killed Clara, I was out.
When they were quoting socialist philosophers, like, "Oh, what would you pick to be born in?" It's like, not everybody would pick to be born in that, but
okay. Since we're talking about aliens,
absolutely Anon.
Yeah.
Favorite Doctor.
Number
2, the hobo Doctor for me.
Really?
Yeah, I love that guy.
He
looked like Mo. He had like a Mo Howard cut.
Yeah, Mo Phelps.
I like
go with
the
John
original
Pertwee.
one. I like the original one, but I also like what's his name when it came back. Only did one season.
The guy. Colin Baker.
Eccleston.
Oh yeah, I was going to say. It was having seen what they did with Tennant. Tennant used to be my favorite, and what they did with Rose and all that. That made me stop watching the show But then when I saw Tenet, willingly and watched him talk about it and how woke and insane he is, he's actually been deleted from my memory.
And
So
I think that stuff is why Eccleston didn't want to keep doing the show, because
all the more reason to like him.
He talked about leaving the show not too long ago, like 2-3 years ago, and the reason why is what was like the crap they were pushing behind the scenes.
That's
that franchise is dead.
Oh yeah.
It's dead.
I always hated Rose though. Fucking hated
Rose Tyler.
Yeah.
Really?
I found the actress annoying.
I like the American girl. She was hot.
Who?
The American girl. Remember? The brunette. I can't remember her name. I might find out.
The American girl. I liked the Clara, Jenna Coleman, but
I'm like, I actually liked Rose, but for different reasons. She's not like my type. My favorite was probably, believe it or not, it was either Ace or the black girl who was with Tennant for a while.
Freeman.
She was actually pretty cool. And but for the most part, a lot of them, like Meg, that redhead, that squeaky voiced redhead, she drove me insane. Yeah. As did the one woman who's like been in the show since the very beginning, damn near. I could never.
She died from cancer on her own show.
Yeah, I never liked her. Sorry, she's gone. She made a lot of people happy doing what she did. But she was, to me, she was just annoying.
Yeah. And the newest generation have done a lot to retcon things from that show. The Jane Smith.
Yeah, that was her name.
It wasn't a very canon show anyway. Like you'd have an episode, they say the Doctor's 900 years old, and another episode 1400 years old. But
they always made it like the dates got longer the further on the show, so like there'd be like large gaps in the.
Okay.
So like it would be at the beginning of the season he's 900 years old, at the end 14, and then it's like we've only seen him like 8 times, and it's been 500 years for him.
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to pull there, but
like George was saying, a lot of lazy writing, but
or people just not actually paying attention. They get new writers and they get the job, but they haven't actually watched every single episode, which should be a fair minimum.
Well, they've had Douglas Adams write episodes like in like the Tom Baker era.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you become a writer for a show like a legacy show, and you've never fucking seen it or read it or watched it?
Because they hire you to destroy it.
That, or it's like, it's not even that you have to watch every single fucking episode. They usually have Bibles, right? They have series Bibles, and like those things are maintained for continuity. They used to be maintained for continuity, and it's like, take 20 minutes for me through the fucking document, bro.
It's just like, who was it? Like some director directed some like Marvel movie or whatever, and I don't know who the fuck that is. I've never read it.
I'm not sure what you mean by this, Anon.
It's just like, what? How do you get that job and you've never even? Anyway, that's weird.
Actually, the other day I was watching a video. It was like kind of like, it was a video about rating movies that were better than the book, and basically based on how much better than it is the books. And apparently Children of Man is a great movie, a good movie.
It's a terrible book. I know the video you saw. I watched the same one. The movie is a lot better than the book.
And luckily the director did not read it, thankfully.
That will happen a lot. Like that happened with Starship Troopers. Never read the book.
Yeah.
You never read the book?
Never read the book.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
why
Well,
he
you can
made.
tell in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he made a movie that was anti-Nazi propaganda when the book had nothing to do with fascism whatsoever. And it's
Yeah,
like
it's true.
when the
Yeah.
book had nothing to do with it. And it's like
The book was, except for the ending, of course, the book was pretty good. It was literally like the first
well,
hard
the
science
point
fiction book I ever read.
the point is that he dies. Like
Yeah.
he didn't finish writing his journal because he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a
I've
long
come to
time since-
terms with that.
Also, much like I'm now insists on always saying, Highline never finishes anything. He just publishes it.
I've got dozens of books that he did
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah, I know, but it's a running joke because there are a lot of things that
No, I've never heard
he
of it. Anon.
needs-
Best in Hell.
Best in Hell. I think I know that.
I like his Moon is a Harsh Mistress. That's a better,
That was a
Yeah.
good one. That was a good
better
one.
book.
I don't think I've
Glory
ever read
Road was
anything.
kind of weird.
I don't think I've read anything Heinlein that was. I've only read Starship Troopers. That was it.
He's got so many books. It's when I was a youngster, I read through all of them. Like R's for Rocket and stuff like that. And a lot of those early like 50s or 60s books were for me. They really helped me, learn a lot about you know basic science fiction. Asteroid mining and rockets and things like that. At a very early age, and they were I guess some of them were actually written as kids books, so it was
Yeah.
it was just one of those people that had early access to, and at some point I got a hold of I think Number of the Beast or something, and I'm like, what the shit is this? I'm out, and I haven't read anything from him since then.
Yeah, you should go back. I like My Girl Friday or whatever it is.
I remember when that one came out.
There's a lot of like, okay, so that's the thing. Heinlein was whoever he was dating at the time.
Really?
Yeah. So if he was dating a square chick, he wrote square books. If he was dating a hippie chick, he wrote hippie books.
I'll put you in my book, baby.
Yeah, and that's why you get a lot of like freaky sexual stuff because he was dating more libertine chicks at the time or married one or something like that. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when authors get older, they do a lot of like weird sexual stuff, like the
Whoa,
Dune
I'm not
series.
that old.
the
Shadow
Dune,
can tell you about Mr. Scruffles.
I could,
The
but
later-
I won't.
the later Dune books get all kind of weird, and the honored matres, and they just basically control people through weird sexual practices.
Oh yeah, they're
No,
kind of
no,
like
that was there the whole
They
time.
kind of had a sexual dominance. They control people. Yeah.
That was actually supposed to be there the whole time. It's suggested even in the first one.
Yeah.
Because Jessica was supposed to bear a daughter, and she was placed under Duke Leto specifically to control those bloodlines. That's a whole sexual thing, bro.
Yeah, but in that case, it was more of a control to create the Kwisatz Haderach, sort of a genetic
there were
project.
oxo-auto
but-
tanks.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh man, you need like a pronunciation dictionary or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well,
It's science fiction, bro.
And then it's
It's
like seems like everybody's like Zen Sunni or something. It's like, oh, it's actually there's Zen Sunni too, and there's Zen Sunni, and there's Zen Sunni.
it's like, yeah, is this part of this universe? Are they collaborating? These book lines are merging.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's homages, right? Yeah,
I really enjoyed the first Dune book. I thought it was really good. And then
they go downhill.
yeah, I mean, I kind of dig. I dig, the messages he's throwing out, and I dig a lot of the situations that are happening, and I like the long game where
I actually like the
Lita.
prequels his son wrote. I really
Oh, do
like
you?
them. I think they're cheesier action adventure, but I like them.
It could, but
They
Leto
weren't
the
bad.
second, comes the worm and like does all this shit to better mankind, so they'll be independent in the future. But that's a
Yeah.
long game, dude. That's like,
That's communism.
I mean,
You're changing people to fit the society you want instead of changing
Yeah.
the society to fit the people. Our good buddy, we're talking about the YouTube guy we're talking about earlier. He has a whole society, but the Federation and
yeah,
the
he's good, dude. I
Yeah.
dig his videos a lot.
what's
He
his
really gets
name?
it. What is it? The
What I would
I'm looking it up right now. You
Oh.
guys talk while
So-
I look that shit up.
Yeah, what I would say about it is sort of like this similar to communism. Also, kind of libertarians want to, in a sense, because they're like, oh, we need no government, and then which is where I kind of fall politically.
Yeah,
But the
you
flaw
end up
is where
getting
everybody wants
the
government.
murder park.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so the thing is the message the message that he wants to leave in humanity's bones to learn is not to trust people, not to trust leaders, charismatic leaders, and that's kind of like
Yeah.
the opposite
And-
message of communism in the end.
and that's kind of what I got. It was like he was doing this oppression and this like horrific reign. So people are like,
But-
fuck this. We're
I
not going to do this again. We're gonna
I
go
agree
do
with
our own
Mr.
thing."
Max that is a deconstruction because he okay. So excuse me, bro.
Excuse me.
You rip one out that loud. You gotta excuse yourself. People really loved, like the audience really loved Paul as a character.
Yeah.
So he started trying to deconstruct it because he's of that time period, right? And you can look at his beard to see what kind of political.
I mean, yeah, it's like because Paul couldn't handle it. That's why I gave it.
Well, I
to
don't
his
think
son.
Herbert could handle Paul being that popular amongst the reading base.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he then spent the rest of his life deconstructing that character.
I mean, I don't think Paul was. I don't think he was like vilified or anything. Was he? Not that I remember.
No, well, that he's still a good writer, right? You don't have to
Yeah.
vilify to deconstruct.
When I read
Because he
the
basically
books,
just kind of disappears. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
But
He just
it's the aftermath and the
Yeah.
consequences and all that BS.
Yeah.
I think Dune would have been much better as a one and done.
yeah,
I
when
think-
I was younger, I read all the books, the Herbert ones, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the last three couldn't handle. We didn't really care much for. Well, the first three then were great. I love Children Do is probably one of my favorite ones, and still is probably my favorite one. The last, and then the last is three, I guess. God Emperor, Heretics of Dune, and
There's 7
Sandworms
of the
Dune.
original books.
So those are I didn't like. I'm like, oh, this is boring. Or and then later on, where I reread them in my late 30s, and where I was kind of getting a little better understanding of politics and stuff. They're my favorite ones. I just love seeing the whole God Emperor of Dune is really just all political musings with a storyline of like how he trains, I guess, the Atreides bloodline to the Golden Path, kind of mixed in.
Mhm.
And then,
The channel that we were talking about is the Feral Historian.
Yeah, that's it.
If you haven't seen it, I just put the link in the
Yeah,
the
go. Everybody who's watching, go to the Feral Historian on YouTube
and subscribe.
watch
Three
Really good,
videos
yeah.
ago, 3 videos ago, he does a deconstruction on the Federation, and I guess it's also the Federation from Star Trek and Starship Troopers.
I saw that. That was it's like sort of they're the same thing in a sense.
Well, they're,
Yeah,
they're
sort
mirror
of.
opposites, right? Where in Starship Troopers, society is reconstructed to embrace human nature and its best efforts. Where in Star Trek, human nature is reshaped to fit society, right?
Yeah,
We don't know what game we're going to run, Eldrad, but we're making up the world and the races and the things around it, and then we'll
Yeah.
just tailor it to fit whatever game we're working on. Sorry about the music in the background, guys.
Yeah. I've created a two sex race. One is super hot females that are all blonde and blue eyed, and super like
They have
militant elite and super
cat
intelligent.
cat ears.
And I haven't put cat ears on them. They look pretty
Yeah.
human. They can blend in. But the males of their race are about the size of a football, and they just exist to secrete cum. That way, we don't have to have them in the stories at all. Um,
Except the chosen one, and the chosen one is Justin.
well, yeah. Well, they're biologically compatible with humans. So when my character goes to Mars and sees all
There
these
you go.
hot chicks living in like militant bunkers and being their whole existence is to build starships and nuke the fuck out of Uranus. Because they heard the name of this
Yeah.
planet and they decided it doesn't deserve to exist. I'm also basing their civilization loosely on the Drac from the books of the same name. That way, they can enslave or exterminate the rest of life, except for my human character, which boy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you just didn't go the other route. As you know, instead of a queen, there's just a king, and then the king dies, and you come to Earth looking for a new king.
That's why I
when
say
my
it's the chosen one.
when my character Chad McAwesome gets there, real name
Chad.
not changed, legally actual name. They will.
Why do I get the feeling this is going to turn into like a spin-off of Lex?
Well, something like that.
Have you ever watched Lex, dude? It is a fucking crazy shit. It's fun. It's a fun
I
show.
love that show.
I haven't.
It's
And
great.
I just want to say one thing: Mantrid did nothing wrong. Biosevere Mantrid did nothing wrong.
That was a hell of a show. That was that was the greatest Canadian German production ever.
It's probably the only Canadian German production ever.
Probably the only Canadian German production ever. But hey,
for those of you that don't know, Lord Mantrid, whatever his name was, he turned everything into giant floating arms that just ran around the universe, turning things into giant floating arms.
Like a von Neumann probes.
Yeah, but they were
ones that just
just
destroy
arms.
Yeah,
the guy who played that was the guy from the Centipede, Human Centipede, wasn't it?
I
I wouldn't doubt
I
it.
think it
say
was
so,
the doctor
bro.
from the Human Centipede.
They had some pretty
So-
interesting people in there. They had the guy from Clockwork Orange, little Alex,
Yep.
Malcolm McDonald, and they had
no.
they had what's his name?
Well-
Rutger Hauer in the Eating Pattern
Yep.
episode.
Yep.
The shower episode. The shower episode. That's the only one I need to know about.
Surprisingly, that show had very little skin in it.
Sadly, that's why the only one I want to know about is the shower episode.
Those are the movies, the Cinemax movies, or yeah, Showtime.
There was so much-
Showtime or Cinemax?
Showtime.
Yeah, there was so much sexual imagery in that whole show, with like the shower and the toilet and like I remember like the watering can looked like a
Every
penis.
door was a orifice.
Yeah, and I just
It's
did
like
not
a
even.
tentacle hanging down and water's coming out of it. Shit, yeah, I got you.
It took me, but
You
I didn't
bathe
even
with
notice.
a golden shower.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice because of everything else around it. that the Lex was a giant penis, just
Yeah.
going backwards.
Hey, it wasn't a penis. It was a firefly. Get it right.
Or dragonfly or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dragonfly. Fire.
All
Uh,
right,
Oh
moving
yeah,
right along.
yeah. The small
Generous.
planes were fireflies.
Yeah, the moths.
oh yeah, the little
The shuttles.
the little
The shuttles.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I wrote that down, Eldrad. I'll check it out after the show. So I'm assuming you guys have, some sort of biology, what it closely resembles, or made up biology of your alien race. What kind of society does it come from, or does it, create or live in? What's the makeup of their society, or do they even have one? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're,
I already gave you all that.
Like a predator
you know-
species.
Have you guys ever played a really politic heavy RPG? Like
absolutely.
where your characters have like grown, like you've played long enough to where your characters have grown and they've there's all these like side stories and all this really political heavy shit. You played that heavy before?
Absolutely. My longest running game, the evil campaign that I ran, and I'm still kind of running, even though it had a spin off to it that also lasted about 10, 15 years, was after about 10 years, it was all politics. That's all it was. It was, alliances and trade agreements and things like that for decades, as well as a fair amount of space piracy and war and conquest and just all kinds of crazy shit.
Cool.
It's for me, it's kind of the ultimate goal is to get to a point where most science fiction stories and fantasy stories that go any length of time, get to that point where it's the domain play, but maybe it's in space, and with space you've got unlimited territory and real estate to conquer, to deal with, to build on, and once you get past a certain point, you're looking at like this not next generation, the original Star Trek, where every time you go to a world, there's like oftentimes there's nothing there that you couldn't just land your drop ships and just take over the place and then dictate, we're doing this with it, okay, it's got these plants, these animals, these minerals, we're just going to do what we want with that, and then slowly build bases and things like that, and you never know what's around the next corner.
That's one thing I never get is like, okay, you've got like the technology to build auto construct mineral extractors and auto build fabricators and things like that, and then you find a world that's barren, like you said, and no, I'm still going to be a space pirate.
Yeah.
You don't just set up as king somewhere.
Well, part of that could be, the infrastructure to get those things. Sometimes, with the pirating aspect, they would, they'd meet new people and kick their ass and take their new stuff and then incorporate that new stuff into, their next
but like I said,
and things like that.
You've got the fabricator, you've got the thing, and it's like, but the resources are on the planet. You don't need to like go get the resources. You got them on the planet.
Part of it was meeting new alien races. They would have new techniques or new technology that the players would want, and instead of trading with them or something like that, they just take it all.
What I've been wondering and trying to figure out, maybe I'd have to make something myself because I can't really find one. Is there's very little social mechanics, like there's some social mechanics in games, but not necessarily to track how it affects the world. And also the social stuff is just kind of like in D&D, for example, or OSR stuff. It's like it's you have a charisma stat, and you do better cleric spells, like your I don't know, like flamboyantly doing your spell with charisma, but like you have this social stat that's there and never really use. It's almost a dump stat, and it's only for characters that are like rogue should have a charisma stat or something about their charisma, or the bard. I think the bard also uses charisma for magic, and it's just like. I wonder, like, if there's a system, or you could always homeroom something where it's like, okay,
it's the mentality brewed in the wargaming esque post era that's never been.
Take care, Anon.
It's funny that you say that because most of my Eric, you out here, or Cal, you out here, see man.
No, Anon.
I always play charisma based characters. I rarely play. In my older age, when I was younger, I would do, hack and slash kind of shit and spells, but I found it more fun, like trying to act out, like I'm a hot chick or I'm like a charismatic, like, bard or some shit. I think it was just more fun because you could have more fun.
It's character development, right? You actually become the person instead of just like statistics.
Yeah, it's
or
more
a hyper
really fun for role play.
Character of whatever. Like for example, you're playing the rogue, right? And rogues over like 10th level, they just become, the greatest thief ever, and that's all they are.
Well, that's because a lot of these systems are based around level gaining instead of like doing stuff.
Right.
Which then you start like what gains me the level, because that's what I'm thinking about, instead of like what am I doing and learning and
what's actually going on in the world around you. They're like oblivious to that. They don't want to know. They just want to be more powerful within their sheet. That's their world, is the character sheet. And I just want my character to be so powerful that nothing can hurt me, and I can keep on going after more power.
Well, that's why I've been wanting. Just let me get this one thought out. That's why I've been wanting to get into a game where like everyone at the table starts off with the exact same sheet. You just have a different name, and this like you grow that sheet by how you play it, and not what min-maxy stats you picked out at the beginning.
Well, right, but depending on the players, they may gravitate toward. Okay, well, like say their first skill is X, right, and then they're just going to keep dumping on that skill to just. Well,
it depends on if they've got the opportunity to or not, right? Like if you're only ever escalating through what you're choosing to do and not like selecting off of a list. Oh, you want to learn how to sword play? Did you go to your training class this week? No, then you're not learning how to sword play.
Yeah,
I mean you can get a little bit of bump of just experience, but not like, wow, I've gained 15 levels and just fighting shit. No.
Yeah. Well,
you'll be good at fighting, sure, but you will have very little to talk about other than how great your exploits were back whenever, and you have nothing else to offer, and a lot of early role playing games really kind of force that or encourage that sort of idea. A lot of the ones I'm still fond of, there's a sort of a trap. You know what I mean?
It was a few months ago, Omanau and I were arguing with you about the endless dungeon that was going on in our game. That was just kind of getting annoying. But that's the system, right? Yeah.
Well, a structure like that's going to have a lot of rooms.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean. Like the game pushes towards that kind of thing.
Yeah, it absolutely does. As do many games out there right now. Over half of them, I can say, if not more than that, really, push that sort of, single-mindedness. Do whatever, get to the dungeon. Now you're actually playing the game.
Yeah, where doing whatever's more. That mentality predates video games, bro.
I wonder what one thing is, like have like a thing where you track a NPCs like respect for you, or how much they hate how much they hate you, how much they love you, how much they fear you.
Mm-hmm. Like a prestige stat or a loyalty stat or a notoriety stat.
I used to do that. I like at the end of every game, I would give my characters their alignment due to after the gameplay. Because I would I make notes on what they did and what they said, and when they interacted with certain people, whatever, I would change their alignment due to their actual actions, not just whatever. And
Or whatever
sometimes
they
that would
claimed.
affect their deity. If they're a cleric or something, like, dude, you like totally went against your dogma. You did this. You're minus 2 spells.
Well, we don't talk about that movie.
I kind of like that movie.
No, but
No,
but
no,
you
just,
also
it's
do that
just an
with like how
excuse for
you
me to say
treated
that.
like the civilians, how you treated the government, employees or whatever. And I would always make
Sure.
these notes, and like you would get this rep. They would get a rep, and it's like this guy's easy to work with, this guy's not, or
This guy's a douchebag. This guy's a
yeah, this guy's got a warrant for his arrest or whatever. And the party's like, look, man, we can't have you. You can't come to the town, dude, because you got a warrant for your arrest. And then all of a sudden they're discovered that they're accomplices of this asshole, and then it's like you either
fix it
it's
or
fun.
flee.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like but that's a lot of legwork to do if you're a DM, man. You got to like really be on it,
especially
and then
especially these days where a lot of people just want that beer and pretzels, or the dungeon
spite.
mentality,
Yeah,
or they may drop out at a moment's notice. This is just something that sounds interesting right now, but next thing you know, 6 weeks later, they're like, I'm out. I got new schedule at work, or wife's having a baby, or we're moving.
but
It's like,
that
hey,
life thing, no,
yeah, yeah, and you can't fault people for that, but you can kind of say, hey, look, uh, I want players who are going to be in it for X amount of time minimum. If you can't, conceivably work in that into your schedule, that's fine. But don't
Well,
come into the situation thinking that I'm just going to do this if I like it, cool. If not, I'm out. At a moment's notice. Um,
yeah, wrap up your arc. Um, that's why we were going for our game that things would be done in 1 to 3 sessions, kind of
Yeah, preferably one.
arcs. Yeah,
I
preferably
really
one.
like the idea for that particular game that you show up at the table, you solve the crime, you do the things afterwards. XP or whatever. If anything, it's probably just
Yeah,
mark it one tick in a box and you're good to go. See you
yeah,
next week. Oh, I can't make it for the next 2 weeks. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Uh, you know,
You're not in this episode.
yeah, you're just not in that adventure or whatever.
Right,
Yeah,
and I think a lot of games uh, would benefit from that sort of idea, but a lot of genres don't aren't suited for that. If you're in the middle of a dungeon or in a battle, or you're in a war, or you're behind enemy lines, and suddenly you can't show up, well, what have you been doing for the last 2 sessions? You've got to have
Yeah,
a backup plan for what your character's doing if you're not able to show up,
yeah,
and that's got to be built into the system from the very beginning. It's like if you can't make it, you're not just following behind the group, not doing anything. I hate
yeah. Like Brian.
I
this
absolutely hate that when
it,
when
I'll,
a character is in the middle of something, they can't make it. Everybody decides to play anyways. Someone's got to pick up the slack, whether it's another player
Yeah,
or the GM. You got to play that other character. They don't just turn
that,
invisible until they show back up. That's
That's
yeah,
why I always have like all my players updated sheets with me in case they can't
right.
show. I'll play for them, and I tell you, a lot of times, like if it's just some bullshit that they made up that they can't make, and they say, I'll go, okay, yeah, I'll just play your character, and they're like, what? Like, yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
you don't just vanish in the middle of this, hell, you know, dimension. You're like
Yeah.
the tank. So yeah, the party needs you. So I'm gonna play you. And they're like, oh well,
Well,
I'll try to make it, dude.
that's another reason why I like systems that don't have too much dependency on one
Type.
particular class or type
Yeah.
or character. That way you don't have the over dependence. Oh, like Shadow was saying earlier, Grandma almost wasn't able to make the game that they were playing today, and well, if she didn't show up on time, they probably would have lost a character or something because they needed a cleric or whatever, right?
It could have happened. We got lucky.
Yeah,
Um, and,
but
and, and
still,
to
like,
be honest, we actually because he made the character go off and do. Grandma went off and did some stuff, but because the character wasn't there, we played very differently. Cal will attest to it. We
Yeah.
played very, very different than we normally do because she's our healer and the priest. So if we
Yeah.
had seen more undead, we'd have been screwed, and we would have just ran. You know what I mean? There's nothing we
Yeah.
could do except fight 38 zombies. No, I'm not. I'm not down with that. We're not. The game isn't like lots and lots of hit points and lots of spells and powers and stuff. It's really kind of low key for a Gonzo game, and we would have you know had she been there the whole time, we might have done things a lot differently and taken a few more risks. But it's like nope, nope. We're just gonna go for distance in getting to our objective as opposed to any little side things. It's like I was even tempted at one point. It's like, hey, let's yeah, Cal has more firepower now, but I was tempted to go check out these ruins, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to because I know if we go, we'll find cool shit. But I'm like, you know what? We don't have the cleric. Let's just make a beeline. We can always come back, and check it out on the way back. And that's the way it's got to be when you're doing uh, things like that. DM Beelzebubba, Eldrad, is that who you're talking about? Because he's one of our favorite guys out there. So,
Yeah. Uh,
so let's try to wrap up our aliens. There's only a couple of more things that I think players would need to know to make up an alien species. That's the advantages and disadvantages that they have that are different from humans. Maybe on their world it's not it's not considered an advantage, but you throw them on Earth or the Moon or something, they're hanging out with humans. Well, how are they? How do they excel, or are they hindered being around human society and maybe even human uh, societies and the physics of the worlds that they live in. Maybe they're immune to vacuum and they don't have to worry about it. They just their starships don't have to worry about pressurization or things like that. They just big soup cans with an engine and they're good.
um, Homo superioritas, we're better than you.
Yeah, Cal, we,
You all
we,
suck.
and you know what? I think it was actually more realistic. That
Why
we
aren't
played
you
that
being
way.
obedient?
Mhm. Oh, hey,
Uh,
Raven, I didn't know. I didn't hear the beep. Let's get her in
yeah.
here. Got to click
Yeah.
the dang button. There she
Uh,
is.
Hey,
How
hey,
you been following along so far?
no, the last 30 minutes I missed.
Okay, well, it's
don't worry
okay.
about it.
I'll go over it so that you can, give us something funky like last time for a new race of aliens. Let me get over to chat so I can keep hanging out with you guys. Uh, Make the world just have a D percentile roll when you need average 50% as default. Uh, well, see, part of the experiment is to come up with something that hasn't been done before, or at least a new take on it. At the very least, come up with some alien races. Because mind you, they're not going to be the players; they're going to just be things they bump into, antagonists, or NPCs or enemies or what have you that they have no control over, but exist in the world. Like if you're playing a Star Trek game and the whole crew's human, well, you're going to bump into Klingons and Vulcans and things like that, and they're going to act a certain way. And why would they act the way they do? And how is that going to interact with the players' decisions? Is it going to be important? If they deal with a Venusian, barkeep, right? Is there going to be anything interesting going on back and forth? You know, uh, maybe the players want info, but because the barkeep is Venusian, instead of money or something, they want a specific, very specific favor because where they come from, they like X, and it's hard to get, so they want you to go get X or bring somebody to them, or maybe they want you to do something specific for them that they can't do because they get their glass bubble and they can't go into certain quarters of the city because it's toxic or dangerous to them. Sometimes those things are are interesting, like in Babylon 5 when they had to go to the alien
The
quarter.
Mantis. I was just thinking about the Mantis, the
Right. I mean,
gangster.
that was so awesome, and we never get to
Yeah.
see stuff like that. The whole that whole Mantis character
was
was
in like
one of
one episode, and that's it.
yes, and everybody talks about it because it was so groundbreaking. Because all we ever see are humans with rubber appliances on their heads. You know, very rarely do you get like a 4 or 6 or 8-legged alien that isn't something other than just something to be shot and dealt with. You know what I mean?
Well, whoa. Who said they weren't meant to be shot and be dealt with, bro?
You know what I mean, though.
The problem with the Babylon 5 universe is they didn't crush that bug under their heel when they had the chance.
Right, but wouldn't it have been how much different a show would it have been if every 6th episode you saw another one of those Mantis things just walking by, you know, in a bubble helmet, or they had to go talk to him again, and you know the interactions, you know, the dialogue and the things like that that they were going back and forth with. Hey, what's up, Derek? Yeah, all is well. Brocklander got a little weird with us today. Don't understand what was up with that, but I only say that because I know you know him. We weren't being a dick. I need to wear my rubbers next time. Okay. I hope you're talking about hip waders or you know galoshes.
Yeah.
Hey, hi.
So
wearing
think of an
concrete
advantage, or
galoshes.
you know, for every advantage you got to take a disadvantage to make it fair. Just in case someone wants to play one as a character later on down the road, you know, because their other character got you know blasted into a million pieces. If they have an advantage, what's the corresponding disadvantage? You know, like with humans, we make tools and things like that. But our disadvantage is that we're kind of squishy, and whenever we face, you know, some of the other predators out there, you know, if we were to face a predator, a bobcat buck naked, the bobcat's going to win. You know what I mean? Unless we jump into a freaking river and get carried off and swim away. Otherwise, that bobcat's going to tear us a new one and be feasting on our entrails by noon.
1 minute. Cal, we're all jumping with the swarm there. Is comment 100?
Thanks, guys.
So,
So I have a,
conversation?
I have an advantage and a disadvantage for the alien race that I'm creating. And how about you guys? You got any ideas? You don't have to share them. Just write something down for next time. You were going to say, George?
oh yeah, my alien is sulfur based, so he smells bad.
Okay. Okay.
Is he also a lobster? Because
I think I'm leaning towards that now.
Okay. That's
just
totally.
because rock lobster is fucking hilarious.
Why not? I mean, how different would that make the game when you know you're walking around and every so often you bump into one of these guys, right?
Yeah. And the racial slur that could be used for them is lobsters.
Uh-huh.
Racial
Lobsters.
slur.
Or the little ones are shrimps. You know.
I also picture
Yeah,
that
man.
they're from Io, but they might be common on Venus because Venus is hot and sulfurous as well. So
Yeah, it's a vacation spot for him.
You're sulfur based too, Cal.
Like, hey, you're not shit.
And you know, because I was thinking about this, you know,
Raven's in her car now, so she's not driving anywhere. She's just trying to get away from the
Yes,
cats.
I am. I just pulled up. I'm on E. I gotta get some gas here real quick.
okay.
Oh, how much is gas up there, Raven?
Let me see. Where's your time? Where is it?
Her car has never been higher than E,
3.
so
For unleaded, 332.
Shit.
Man,
That's
I filled up today at 245.
Oh,
Gallon.
this is actually down from what it usually is. Usually
It's 5 to 6
something.
here. It's between 5 and
that's
6
I
here.
was
Well,
going to
the
say
premium
shout
the
out
premium is $4.
17.95.
It's $4.12. And the plus is $3.97.
That's not
You
too
want
bad.
you want that extra lead in your gasoline, Raven? Selfie for you.
I just know the cheapest one. I just gotta go cheap, straight unleaded. I'll be right back.
That's
Oh,
funny. What does Raven drive? Anybody know?
A Jeep.
Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yeah. I picture her often like Sarah Connor, before the apocalypse,
That's a
Yeah.
Wrangler.
Well,
Or
I
no, she
really
was a
hope.
Cherokee. That's right.
I really, really hope humanity isn't dependent on Raven.
Well, see, you've got a point.
When Bigfoot comes back from the future to kill Raven's unborn cat.
Yeah, it's probably all about the
He
rise of
succeeds.
the cat supremacy. When humanity
Oh.
falls, she'll be the queen of the cats, and
Raven, I've already
Well, I think
created your
she's
alien
lovely.
race. Just rewind the video like a minute. I've got a tape measure. I'm gonna measure how big this box is. Right there.
Well, I will make a creature up this week and get it to
Okay.
you.
created.
Okay.
A little
This
critter.
this box right here. This
Alright,
box right here is exactly 8 inches tall.
Justin's bored. He's like measuring shit around the house. He's like,
I'm
that's
measuring
what happens when the electricity goes off at Justin's house. He's just like measuring shit. Until it
I'm
comes
measuring
back on.
subjective digital spaces.
Like, oh my god, I cannot believe a light socket is only that big.
It's 3 and 8. My ceilings are 7 feet and 6.5 inches tall in this room.
See, he has done his
Yeah.
homework.
Well, I got to dip out, guys.
Yeah.
No
got
worries,
some
man.
work to
Appreciate
do.
you showing up.
Do it. Yeah, thanks for.
Hopefully, we'll see more of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my game room back together, and then I'll be doing those videos again.
Cool. Make
You
sure you give
could,
Mel a hug for us.
Yeah.
You have a
Will
great
do.
weekend, brother.
She fell asleep in the back watching Friday 13th. I mean,
Sweet.
perfect woman.
Yeah. Now you should introduce her to Gorian lifestyle. The Gorian lifestyle.
I will mention that to her.
I think
mention it to
you.
her.
I think you and she might get a kick out of that.
Yeah,
Shadow was telling me about
but Brian, you come back wearing a collar.
Oh,
it. No,
shit.
you got to be the dominant in that, man.
She has a collar. She knows he's dominant.
That's why I think you guys would like that lifestyle.
All right, guys. You hang loose. Always
Take care,
keep
brother.
it weird.
Good seeing you again.
Party
man.
on, bro.
See you, man.
Oh.
That was cool. If you guys haven't subbed Weird World War II and you're into Weird World War II stuff, go check out his channel. Because when he comes back, it's going to be in a big way. And
Now, if you want to know about the truth of World War II, you sub to me. I'll tell you about that.
it's like I was like, what the hell am I looking at on Raven's screen? There's like a yellow ghost. What's going on there?
It's a towel that she has on
Yeah,
the back of her.
but she had to buckle it in so it didn't escape.
Well, I just assume she has her seat buckled so she doesn't have the alarm beeping at her when she's driving down the road without her seatbelt on. This is why Raven has seizures and gets abducted by aliens, because she doesn't wear a seatbelt.
Mm-hmm. Because God knows that's one thing the aliens haven't figured out is the seatbelt.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe she wouldn't wake up with her head jammed into her steering wheel if she wore a seatbelt.
Okay. So we got this wonderful hot dog place where I grew up.
Yeah, put your seatbelt on first thing.
Here. All right. There. There,
Okay.
happy now.
Yeah. It sounds like a spring is broken too. If you're able to
That's
do
what I
that.
do. I can't stand the seatbelt across the waist thing, so I always leave it, in, and
Yeah.
I move this thing. Well, nobody
Eh,
can tell,
Yeah, but
yeah. Yeah.
See, the thing
We
is
can.
that's the whole thing is bullshit because it should be my prerogative in this free country that I live in if I want to go through my windshield or not. Damn it! So I think
yeah,
the whole
but
seatbelt
there's
laws are
two big
bullshit.
things. There's two big things arguing with that. One, uh, that would be the insurance company that you're paying a monthly premium to. They don't want to pay out because you're paralyzed. Uh, and two, that would be the government doesn't want you going through the windshield because they want you to keep paying taxes.
Well, and you shouldn't want to go through your windshield either because you don't want to live in a wheelchair or dead.
Yeah, but
No, I
there's a
don't.
Or wake up with your head in your steering wheel again because
Oh yeah,
you're.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the whole interesting vocal minority notion where there's a vocal minority of people who don't want to wear helmets while on motorcycles, which seems to be more of a safety issue than seatbelts. Like you should be wearing a helmet on a motorcycle, but since that minority is more vocal, there are places you don't have to drive with the helmet. But
Really?
since we're not that vocal about the seatbelts, we have to wear
Yeah,
seatbelts.
because
It's
even
sort
the
of
people that don't want to do it know it's stupid enough not to.
Oh,
Not to just.
well, by God, we should
Yeah.
just take to the streets with
are
our
you being
pitchforks.
abducted again?
Yeah, she is. Like, look.
Because you're
She's
red.
over
You're
there.
bright red.
Yeah,
Well, that's because their
it's.
traffic light is red. I'm in a
It,
traffic light.
yeah.
Because for a
Thankfully,
second,
I don't.
you looked like you were on the cover of a 1960s album.
This is a
police synchronicity.
cyberpunk.
So
Luckily, I don't get very far.
I've got some of my stuff for my alien. I'm going to work on some more. Do you guys need any help with yours?
Okay, so yeah, I need some help with my alien thing. So, all right, my people are from Venus, and I'm kind of basing a lot of this information and my characters on the fact that the Valiant Thor that we talked about last week.
Who had that on our bingo card?
This
Huh?
guy. It was like 6 of the tiles, and they were in a row. That way, I could assure I had bingo.
What are you talking about?
Well, we just knew you were going to equate it to some real world
Nutcase.
alien stuff.
How are these people doing?
Where I give you a great alien race, where
Get the
where
hell
where
out of the road.
where
Get the
where
hell out of you
where
people.
Bigfoot came
Okay.
back in time to kill John Mutton Paws, and you had to like protect the poor cat, but you failed because you're Raven. And all of humanity on Venus was exterminated.
Oh.
Well, all cat kind on
me.
Venus was exterminated.
Jeez. Okay, fine. Well, anyway, okay, so supposedly they don't have a belly button. So I was trying to think of how you could, advance your species without a belly button. And so I came up with an idea that they have babies by not test tube, but like in a makeshift type womb, and that all the nutrients are pumped in and are just absorbed through the skin.
You know there are many types of life forms that don't have belly buttons, right?
Well, they're hatched though, but they're cold
Yeah,
blooded.
yeah. Speaking of, iguanas would be a good example of.
Yeah, they're cold blooded though. So if you've got a humanoid, you're going to have a warm blooded species.
Not necessarily.
Well, if it's true. I guess not.
The Gorn weren't
chickens.
Yeah,
They're warm
Are
blooded.
chickens warm blooded?
Yeah.
Oh, they are. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Well,
But
all
I
right.
like I like the whole artificial thing where
womb,
it's sort of
the iron womb.
the
iron
axolotl
womb.
tank. It always comes back to doing for me.
The oxal.
Well,
those are just women. You know that, right? The oxalotl tank is just women.
Spoilers.
There was also the thing in Space Above and Beyond their belly button was on the back of their neck.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Nipple necks.
the slave race that they
Yep.
bred. Because dystopian futures always have to have slave races.
Yeah. I'm just wondering which one of your creations are going to be the slave race for humanity, or is it going to
None.
be humanity?
It's gonna be the other way around. All you motherfuckers are my species slave race.
Okay. Then there was
I'm gonna
another
think about.
aspect I was thinking
Except for
about.
your species there, rock lobster. You're getting exterminated.
I think they're gonna be
Rock lobster.
like the mining s- slave miners or something because they'll crush rocks with their claws. With
Well,
their
they
lobster
could
Nah.
claws.
also be um, amphibious, and they could be like the pearl divers. For
Oh.
you know what I mean. For any planet that's actually got an ocean or any moon, they use them for
Mm.
that because they're they can breathe underwater or whatever. They can withstand the pressures and or the cold, go underwater and get those rare minerals or gems or crystals or whatever that's down below the surface of whatever.
Yeah, one thing I'm thinking about because they're from Io, there would be one like is a very volcanous planet. So the
Uh-huh.
only I think it's molten. And the yellow stuff is actually that you see on from the satellite images is it's like molten sulfur that's welled up to the surface. So it's just really fascinating. And then also it's
Yeah.
highly irradiated. There's incredible amounts of radiation coming off from Jupiter onto Io.
Io's the one that looks like
Something
the Death Star, right?
Really, Eldred, that's pretty
Io,
impressive.
it's a really ugly planet. It's like yellow. It looks like a yellow pimply planet, for lack of a better
Okay.
word. And it's the first place they discovered volcanism outside of the Earth. There were like
Well, see that
images of
sort of segues into another category or another stat, if you will, of the species you're creating. Is it a young species, as in it's younger than humanity, or is it older than humanity? If it's older than humanity, it could very well have actually had interactions with some of the other worlds, and they just roll up the windows when they drive by Earth, kind of thing. They've been dealing with Mars and Pluto or whatever for millennia, but now the humans are rearing their ugly heads into space, and they're like watch out for these guys. They're the new kids. They think they're badass, but we've been ruling, these planets for centuries, millennia or whatever.
You think
Uh,
so? The
it can
Martians are
also
going to
eat and
exterminate
breathe
your
the
asses.
nutrients from its womb or egg. Right, right. When it hatches or while it's gestating, so to speak.
Mhm.
And God help it if it's a little bit of a glutton because then it's going to starve for like 2 months inside the shell. Like I'm out of food.
Yeah. That's when they break the shell open and leave.
Right, right. And then
Do you
when
not know how eggs work, bro?
you crack them, low heat, a little bit of milk, salt, pepper to taste.
Nah, you gotta get them young and fertile. So you drill that little hole in and put the surgical knife in on the wing. That way you get an extra set when they mature and hatch and grow up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, see,
I,
I'm
I
more
know I know how to make chicken wings.
I'm more of a fan of
6 at a time from the same bird, motherfucker.
I'm more a fan of the breast. How would you do that? How do you
What?
get it with 3 breasts?
I have no. I don't think that can be done. I think it has to be because it's vestigial from the body.
Right. That sucks.
Yeah. I'm still looking for those YouTube videos. I saw that the guy do that, and it's just he had a whole line of chickens that he had incubated the eggs and were hatching them. But
Well, the
I
trick
don't
is you
know.
got to let them grow to full maturity.
Yeah. You gotta let them grow to full maturity before you harvest them for the chicken wings. And I guess the rest of the chicken too. You make stock or something. I don't know.
Cool, Eldred.
Feed it to your dog.
Yeah, we're just coming up with the concepts, not necessarily game mechanics, because for the most part, these alien races are not playable as of yet. They're just things to,
Background fodder.
yeah, yeah, as well as NPCs or opponents or monsters or whatever, um, for the other characters that we created the last 2 weeks to bump into and deal with, uh,
Yeah,
so that
I'm
it's not
expecting
just
my
humans.
I'm expecting my character to die within 6 hours. Like in game time, not game time. In game time, he's gonna like get on the starship, trip, and his neck's gonna break. He's gonna be like on the rocket, and he's gonna go to the bathroom, and he's
Mhm.
gonna like pull out the banana sandwich, that fried banana peanut butter sandwich. Go out
What?
just like how he's gonna go out the same way Albus did. Taking a shit and eating a fried peanut butter and banana
Now I
sandwich.
want a peanut butter banana sandwich.
Yeah, but we know you're not going to die, so it's not the same.
Yeah, fingers
Uh,
crossed. And whoop, there she goes.
yeah.
And any rumors of my death will be, obviously extremely exaggerated. I'll just be making a new family elsewhere. Um,
Your son, your name is Jackie 37.
mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Daddy, I'm a girl. Shut up, Jackie.
but the only problem is that means I got to give up all this. You know,
Yeah, but you have a new hobby,
right.
vaping or something.
I know, right? How could I give up all this? I will because I have before, not really, but kind of. I did go through a period where I didn't game for a little bit, and it sucked. And then if I got back into it, you guys would recognize me instantly. Be like, "Hey, that's Shadow in disguise." You're like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, he's just got the plastic nose and the mustache.
I'd have to disappear for another couple of years, and then by then the whole hobby would have just collapsed and turned into shit. Be like, "Oh man, wonder if there's any survivors of the apocalypse." Still
Yeah,
role
the
playing out there.
franchise wars.
Right?
Taco Bell. This is why I always support Taco Bell, because I know they're going to win the franchise wars.
I don't know, man. There's no Taco Bells out here.
Yeah,
It's weird because I live in California. You think,
yeah. Especially that movie took place in California.
we've got at least two or three. Yeah, we've got three Del Tacos. We've got two Carl's Juniors, uh, three or four Jack in the Boxes, but not one freaking Taco Bell.
How are they going to win if they don't have at least 37 locations in San Martinez alone?
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, have you guys got a picture of your alien so far?
Yeah, it's Taylor Swift.
It's always Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it could be Pamela Anderson. Doesn't really matter.
She never did
But
anything for me.
but in 1987,
Mhm.
not today.
Well, yeah. Now she's. Anyways, yeah. No.
She's like if Dolly Parton and Skeletor had a kid.
That's not how that works, but I know what you mean. Um, it's funny. I saw a clip today of Dolly Parton singing "I Will Always Love You."
Yeah,
It was awful.
yeah. Dolly Parton sucks, man.
Well, I mean, I've heard some stuff of hers. It's nice, but this was like it was just like they just picked the worst clip. Mind you, it was one of those videos where like the top songs of 1972, and they'll play like 10 clips of 10 songs, and it was just like you couldn't have found a better one. You know what, Cal? That I did that. I used the old Gamma World rules for mutations, and there were some races in the like the monster section that were actually pretty cool. I forget what the ones were called. Those big those big black condor things, like kind of like the things from Dark Crystal, but since Gamma World uh,
You mean
was
the
better.
Skeksis?
Yeah, I forget. I only seen it once, but those things were scary. Even as a kid, those things kind of scared me. And the ones I think they're called the Cairn or something like that in Gamma World. There's only a little tiny black and white picture, but I'm like, that's kind of scary. Big giant freaking condor tool using ray gun wielding freaking bird things that are just swooping over your party, you know, taking them out.
Yeah.
Polly Darton is better. I never heard of her.
Who?
She's an A cup though, right? This is the opposite of. Anyways,
Oh, yeah.
well, the aliens are racist. Everybody's racist a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Xenophilia is exactly what we're going for. Oh, she was the Muppet Dolly Parton,
Oh,
Polly Parton.
yeah. Hoops were pretty fun, but turning your AK-47 into rubber was a bitch. That was one of their mutant powers. Was if they touch metal, they could turn it into rubber.
Can we avoid the zany stuff?
Yeah. I'm trying to uh, keep
Hard
this.
sci-fi it.
Well, I mean, hard sci-fi to an extent, but yeah, I don't want to. I mean, no, Raven, you're here.
There. Okay. Okay. I am there. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find out where to hit the
Yeah,
send button, and
the,
I
the
didn't
the
notice.
zaniness comes from the characters themselves. I think, any goofy gonzo as shit should come from the weirdos that you've all created as characters, dealing with because they're kind of like like the old DC comic book, the Losers, or the Expendables or something like that. They're a bunch of misfits. No one would normally write a story or a TV show or a movie about these characters. Kind of like what was that superhero movie with Janine Garofalo and Ben Stiller?
Uh, the oh fuck, it's right there. The Shoveler was in it.
Yeah.
And he died in one panel on the comic.
Uh
Fuck. Just Google Janine Garofalo.
huh. Yeah, because she's only had like
Janine
this
Garofalo.
much of a career, which is a shame because there was a period where she was interesting, and then she just lost it. I think it was also when she lost the weight. She lost all that weight from her brain because she got
Um,
like super skinny. And I'm
Who
like,
are you
the
talking
Mystery
about?
Men.
thank you, Janine Garofalo. She used to
Oh,
be a comedian for the
Yeah,
minute that she was funny, and
and
then she just
I'll
became an
be back in
angry.
a minute.
Truth about cats and dogs.
Right. Then she just became an angry. I don't know what she is. She's just angry.
She became an angry
She was in
feminist
Mystery Men.
lesbian. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
that's
movie we were
it.
talking about.
I saw it. Okay.
I thought Cal was a Californian like myself. There, Eldrad. Um, maybe he moved from somewhere else, but I could have swore he's been out here for, quite a long time with the family farm and all.
Who's got the cops in the background?
Oh, that's me. I live about 4 blocks from a fire department, a fire station, and the when I go out to smoke, it was directly in front of me where I'm sitting. There's a 6-lane street that's just a racetrack all day long, and we get sirens up and down that street 4 to 6 times a
Wow.
day. No joke.
Yeah.
So, have you guys thought about how old your species is, in the way of not like obviously they've been around for billions of years, but like how long they've been like a starfaring or at least an intelligent civilization.
Yeah, I'm
Ooh,
thinking
that's
mine
amazing.
would have been discovered like after, they wouldn't have found space flight on their own, and would
Okay,
have been discovered later.
okay, that's actually I would if I had to guess, I would guess like most people would be like, oh yeah, we're older than humans, we're better, like that. But you know what? Sometimes like the new guys, like if this was a TV show, there'd be a lot of people in the audience who would view this and go, "Oh man, those poor guys." Actually have like compassion and sympathy for the underdog, the new species that they're on the short bus. They haven't figured out warp speed or anything like that yet. And then the intelligent races land and take advantage of them. But at the same time, how many characters or things like that have we seen in stories, and they ended up being
Yeah,
like an interesting character or a character type, um, despite that, or because of that
that was a
disadvantage
big
or advantage.
that was a big thing in Babylon 5, from what I remember. Like, humans were not the newest species on the block, but like maybe the second most newest species on the
Right.
block. They were sort of, they meet the Centauri. Centauri have been there for a long time. The Membari, they were there for probably from the beginning,
Mhm.
and I
The
think the
Narn
newest,
were also, I think, the new ones as well.
yeah, the Narn were the newest, but they were only the newest because they freed themselves from the Centauri. Was
Right.
it Narn?
And yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and that created a very interesting dynamic. Like, they were like the new guy. They were kind of the new guys. They're sort of the
But
new up
they
and coming
but they had
power.
like this destiny about them. They were all
Mhm.
part of the cosmic dance that was going on.
Yeah,
This story that it wouldn't have, none of it would have been possible had it not been for them, even if their part was a lesser part to play.
Downstairs.
Absolutely is.
yeah, and
Without them, it would have been a harder fought battle.
yeah, and there was some of the little unaligned species that were out there. They seemed to be around for a while. They had like a ancient quality, not like a, they like you might see like a Eastern person. They're like, they're from a place that had civilization for like more than, let's say, other places in the world, but they kind of just, they're add a lot of flavor to it and stuff. And I
Like
remember
the
there
Pac
was
Mara.
one, I don't remember which one. It might have been the Pakmara. One of them had like early on a secondary species, like their version of a Neanderthal, and it was like their sort of like deep secret that they were sort of, they went extinct probably due to their conflict between the two.
Uh-huh. I don't remember which ones they were, but I
Yeah,
don't know there were other species, but they weren't part of the big five, if you will.
yeah, and they had that little UN of theirs, their League of Unaligned Worlds, which is kind
The
of,
Babylon 5, because not
yeah,
only was it uh, the fifth Babylon station, but I think there was also the five species: humans, Narn, Mimbari, Centauri, and am I missing
Vorlons.
something?
Vorlons.
No, no, because the Vorlons and the Shadows
They just weren't.
were part of the ancients, or the
Yeah,
first
but they
ones.
but they did they were represented there. They just didn't say much or do much
Okay,
until later on.
okay.
Yeah, they had the biological ships too.
Because I remember that they would have those council meetings, and there would be like a Star Wars cantina room full of different aliens
Mm,
that would never be seen again, but they were all part of the lesser council, if you will, or something like that.
yeah,
Um,
they had the
because they had
Zokolari.
like like they had like a half vote or something, uh, or something. What's up, Raven?
So I got a question for you. So wanted to have the Venusians that are very humanoid like us, that are kind of like that, goes along with that book, Stranger at the White House. They look like us, but they don't have the belly button and all that. Then, and they dwell underground, right?
Okay.
But then there's another kind of Venusian that lives on the surface that are like the jinns or smokeless fire, and they live and they come out of those volcanic vents or whatever,
Mhm.
and then they can take on. They're mostly kind of vaporous, but they can solidify themselves at will and be more dense and physical, but just
Mhm.
for a brief amount of time. But in your
I
name,
like that.
Hmm.
If you did that in reverse, you could have them the same species, but they can be like people most of the time, and they can briefly turn into to gas
Like
to
vampires.
oh,
yeah.
they definitely would have like surface dwellers and underground dwellers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well,
Well, maybe
maybe.
maybe they're when they're above the surface, they can only be in mist form because of the
The
environment.
heat.
But then when they go back down underground, they can solidify.
Well, maybe their natural form isn't like people. They're just capable of disguising themselves
Yeah,
by
yeah. They
absorbing.
like Avatar. Yeah,
Yeah. Right. Like
I like the
so.
whole Efreet kind of feel, like the
Yeah.
like Jin, the Efreets, and
yeah.
So maybe they're like
And they're mean, and then the ones that live underground that have like a
yeah,
human form all the time, they're the nice ones.
yeah,
There's no such thing as a nice alien.
Well,
yeah.
you don't know that. You don't know that.
I
Well, it's the rules.
I'm an alien. I think I'm nice.
We agree.
Wow.
I remember in
I
Abbott
don't
and
know.
Costello, they had when they went to Venus, it was all women, and they were all like the Miss America beauty pageant women.
Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
You know why, right?
Bow,
Why?
Because it's a man's world.
Ah,
It's a man's world. Yeah, I like.
Well,
There was a Chanel ad with Keira Knightley in that song. I recommend you watch it.
Keira
okay.
Knightley.
I like
That's
Keira Knightley.
the pirate woman, right?
Yeah. Oh, I will find it and put it in the group chat for my video thing. And then you can watch it. I love the outfit she has at the beginning.
Okay.
It's very 1950s space suit.
Cool.
Now, are we supposed to create
Chanel Keira
just
Knightley.
like a one single character that is going to be used in a game? Is that what I
Keira
understood?
Knightley.
Okay, the character we made last episode, your veterinarian,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one you're going to play. Everything we're doing now is stuff that I'm going to throw at you, or you're going to bump into, or meet, or hear about in the rest of the universe. These are going to just be, or in the solar system, let's say. These are just going to be, NPCs and adversaries and contacts and things like that that exist in the world, but you're helping me make them up so that I have things to throw at you and tantalize you with clues and side quests and things. As you're trying to accomplish the main thing. You're going to bump into Lobsterman or Justin's race or Brian's race or whatever I create or since there are other planets in the solar system, maybe some of the planets don't have anything at all. Maybe there's some new arrivals from Alpha Centauri that'll start showing up in the story. Uh, who knows? We're trying to fill the world with things besides just humans, because a sci-fi game that's just humans. Uh, to
It can work, but it has to be more political.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't want that, and it makes for the combat challenges kind of stale in as much as that, well, you just get really good armor and you get really good at combat, and then you kind of just walk through all of the combat. When you've got something that's, offbeat, whether it's a robot or an alien, then you've got a whole new challenge for, if there were any combat characters in the makeup that you guys have made, which there are none, then it would give that
Well,
player a challenge.
they might get good at shooting shit eventually.
Sure. But if you look at them the way they stand right now, they're like,
A ragtag bunch of losers.
misfits. They
No. Misfits is elevating them above where
okay.
they inspire to be misfits one day. I've seen this party of people.
Right. Exactly
Yeah.
my point, Cal. I like the aliens because it also allows you to then throw in creatures that aren't just lions, tigers, and bears. I can throw in a
What?
tentacle monster from time to time.
Wait, wait.
If,
What was George's character again? I don't think he was on
The
screen to me.
fast food guy.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I
he
said,
did have some. He did
he's
have some.
elevated to a misfit, like my character.
Well, the whole concept was that he was like seeing a lot of craziness, like people come in and like try to bust up the place, and he's got a. So he has some fighting skills, more melee, hand to hand stuff, and improvised weapons. Like he could
okay.
take a frying pan and fight with.
Right, or he's just got like a big streamlight flashlight that keeps behind the counter.
Mhm. Yeah,
That way
exactly.
it's not like just pulls. I didn't want to say rolling pin, but something
D-cell,
behind the counter.
D-cell batteries. They don't think you
Mhm.
have a weapon, but
Yep, yep.
yeah.
Many
He
of many
also
of many of many of persons had their ass handed to them with a streamlight flashlight,
mm, he's
and
also
a small number of them had their. Never mind, I'm not going there.
He sued his own sons.
Huh?
He sued the guy that made that.
Uh huh.
He sued his own sons for patent infringement.
Really? I haven't. I think I have one, but I haven't been in the business for 40
That's
years.
the big long one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The aluminum tube with the
yeah.
okay, yeah. He sued his own sons for patent infringement.
Well, if his kids did something underhanded, he should.
No, they innovated on the product, but the
Uh,
company the reason why that flashlight is so popular is because of how they spend 90% of their revenue on being litigious.
uh,
Oh, right. That's a company that was a flashlight brand made by lawyers, not quality products.
okay. The cops loved him back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember
I'm
there
they
pretty
got a
was
sure what I've got.
50% discount.
Pardon?
there was an
They got a 50% discount. So
Not at our shop. They got like a
yeah,
10%.
the ones sold directly to
Oh, okay.
the departments.
I remember there
Yeah,
was an episode of
those guys are
21.
cheap as shit.
Yeah,
Tightwads.
Yeah. I remember there was an episode of 21 Jump Street years ago, and like they were one of the things was like they were looking into was I guess bouncers beating up people too much, and so the Peter DeLuise, Don DeLuise's son, that guy,
Uh huh.
that character had to go in there, in as a bouncer and kind of figure out what what they were doing, and the main weapon was a flashlight. It's like,
That's funny because that guy could barely bounce out of bed.
Don
He was.
DeLuise,
I
yeah.
really did like him though in that Sequest though. Was that him also in Sequest, or was that one of the other brothers?
that was a younger brother, I think.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
there's one they direct Stargate, I think. Well, Peter DeLuise does. It was like he would do some of the directing for the Stargate
Yeah, I think
episodes,
so. Now that you mention it, yeah.
and they had an episode. It's a goofy episode, but they had Don DeLuise in it, where he's like this weird alien that was like stuck in their brain, and he's just really goofy.
Yeah. It turns out they were
Move along.
robots. They weren't actually the SG-1 team. They were robots impersonating the team.
Ah, okay.
and that's why they were seeing them. And there was another episode with the guy from Sequest, the
Yeah.
brother or son or whatever, where he
That
was
was a
like
good one.
a director. He was like a director making a knockoff. No, he was the actor in the TV show that was the knockoff of Stargate that played
That was a good.
Jack O'Neill's character.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
one because it's like they had that alien, and he's like stuck on Earth, so he starts like working for Hollywood, making this TV
Yeah,
show
he
that's
was a
all
goal.
about Star.
Yeah.
And it was all about Stargate, and then they're like, "Oh, we got to check this guy out because he's gonna blow our cover." And they're like,
Yeah.
"No, we'll just keep it. It'll be sort of like we'll just say if something really gets leaked,
Plausible
we'll just say
deniability.
it's just the show there." So that was
Yeah.
cool. And he's like, the funny part was it's like he has the beautiful alien girl. And he's just like, I don't know, like why would he feel all romantic with all these dead bodies around? And he's like, oh, okay, so you shoot them once, it's stunned. You shoot them twice, they get killed. You shoot them 3 times, it disintegrates the body.
Hey George, did you pick one of the planets?
I picked Io, the moon Io from it's around Jupiter. But I'm just Io. I'm picking Io.
Yeah.
Because really,
No problem.
the Jovian moons are planets in and of themselves. Io
Right.
is about the size of the moon. Ganymede's almost the size of Mars. Europa has many stuff done about it. It's an ice shell moon, so there's an ocean under that. So people can.
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
the
lot
one I
of
was
stuff you
thinking
can
of
do with-
earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot you could do with that. Even they say Ganymede might also be an ice shell, and Callisto might also be an ice shell moon. And of course, there's the moons of Saturn as well. There's Titan, and that's
think so.
yeah, and that has a very thick atmosphere. So there's a lot of stuff you can do there. And there's Enceladus, which looks like Europa, but Europa, if you look at it, you have this white shell of ice around it with these reddish brown cracks in the ice. Enceladus has these bluish cracks in the ice, and it is also something's emitting some kind of material from its Enceladus. Kind of
Right, I remember seeing videos of that. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah. And there's like Hyperion and Didone and Iapetus.
This guy's got some research and shit. Oh,
It's helpful though.
Well, yeah, no, I'm the research. What is it? What's the where you do too much research? That thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have that research paralysis.
well, I'm gonna start giving out exercises in the writing course segment next year instead of prompts as well in between them. And the first one is 1 week challenge for one scene, at least 4 pages long. And I expect you to participate in that, bro. I don't care what it is, but I'm gonna make you start writing shit. I'm gonna find you and tase you. That's my solution to everything.
But no, repeat that again. What was the exercise?
The first one of the new year will be one scene, 4 pages long in a week.
Okay, one.
That's 1,000 words. It's 1,000 fucking words. Think of it as 4 pages. It's easier to do that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A scene. Just
A scene. A scene.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where in the story it is. You can figure that out after.
So it has to be part of an ongoing story.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It might even be better if it wasn't.
No, it definitely will be better if it wasn't, but it'll help you like do things in full length. It's an exercise, right? It's an exercise.
And what is there a theme to it? Like,
we haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
Just wait until the new year.
Like
we got 3 months.
Mr. Squiggles or whatever his name was.
Mr. Scruffles.
Scruffles.
George, if you want that scene, I'll send it to you.
It's eye-opening, I'll say. It's eye-opening.
No, because if your wife finds it on your computer, you will have some
No,
spinning to
no.
do, Lucy.
The thing is, you send it to her and have her read it. That way, you don't get in trouble for it because you act like you're doing it intentionally. Know these things. Hey, honey, I want to see how far in this you can get before I start laughing too hard.
Or before you start throwing shit at me.
Did you guys see the new banana video today?
No.
No, I didn't. I missed it. I usually get those every day, but I didn't go over there today. So what? Was it a good one?
Oh yeah, it was like overripe, like all brown. The last one,
What?
last one in the bunch.
Last one of the bunch.
The fuck, you guys actually watched the Banana Report?
I haven't seen the Banana Report in like 2 weeks. I've seen like 2 of them. I subscribe,
usually
but I'm
up.
not getting the notifications.
Yeah, it's down the list. You're subscribed to too many things. That's the problem.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I usually get the notification in the morning, and usually I'm the first one there.
But how many things are you subscribed to?
A bunch.
Yeah, like Shadow subscribed to like 8,000 people though. So.
Easily 5,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Gotta
god.
watch them all, every one of them.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
You don't. You couldn't.
Not even close.
You need to start turning loose ones.
Take
into
care, Cal. We
smoothies.
are actually going to wrap this up in 14 minutes.
Tomorrow is the fall equinox, and it happens early in the morning.
But
At
is it the age of
7:43
Aquarius?
Eastern time.
What was that just?
But is it the age of Aquarius?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's coming though. I'm going to try. I bought a
When
dozen
is the
eggs
age of
today
Aquarius?
to try to balance all of them. I'm going to make a video.
Oh. I like
I
that
did. I
whole
managed to get
thing about
3
the.
balanced.
I like the whole thing about the ages. Like there's the, so in it, it's sort of they correspond to certain moments in our civilization. So we're in the age of Pisces, which is the age of the fish, which is the Christian era. Before that was what was it? Is it the ram?
No,
Good night.
that's coming up.
It was Aries, I think, and that's like sort of like the Old Testament era.
Aries
Before
is
that
after
Taurus.
Aquarius.
Yeah, but it's a precess. It's a precession of the
Who's
equinox.
first move
So
into
it actually goes.
Aquarius?
They go in reverse. So because it goes.
Oh, that's right. They go in reverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before that was
Because-
Taurus.
Yeah, and
The
that's like
bull.
the Minoan. And then and that civilization corresponds
Is
to
it
the time
November
of
19th?
the Crete.
What?
This thing here says it's either the 2nd of this month or the 19th of next month.
What? The age of Aquarius?
Yeah.
It has to do with Pluto going retrograde back into Capricorn, and then it went into Aquarius like for 2 months, a couple months back. It's in Capricorn now, and it's getting ready to leave Capricorn.
Okay.
I think in November, December. That sounds about right. Yeah.
It says November 19th here.
Okay.
Until March. Until March of 2043.
Yeah, it'll be in Aquarius. Yeah.
Is that when the purge starts?
I don't know.
No idea.
You know the purge?
No, it can't be 43 because when Pluto goes into a sign and changes signs, it's in there for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said for 19 years.
I was thinking the song from the movie Hair.
Yeah.
Was it Hair? I thought it was Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh no, Hair is yeah, because Jesus Christ Superstar, like Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, well, it was a musical. I figured it had other songs.
I have that
They played
album
that
somewhere.
for us. Yeah, they played that for us in Catholic school. So I'm not sure some of the
Oh
teachers
my
liked that
god.
or not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Spider. Spider. I got a big spider. Okay.
That's the
Oh god.
wrong religion.
Oh,
First of all,
oh god. I,
you're supposed to be opposed to that one.
Oh, I got my nose broken in like 5th grade, so my parents took me out of public school.
Oh,
They had some kid that was like left back 4 times and
Oh,
decided to pick a
jeez.
fight with me.
Back when they held people back.
Yeah,
civilization was actually better back then.
Yeah.
You're getting a broken nose was worth it, bro.
it was.
I hate to tell you that.
I got
Yeah.
my I don't know if I actually got it broken, but I got it injured, and now it's the shape it's in, and yeah, I playing football in school, and my parents never even thought for a second about taking me out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no
Going
chance of that.
the Catholic school was cool because it was one class, one grade. Like you had like maybe 20, not even 20 kids in one class, and they're all the same grade. Where I went, at least it wasn't a very big Catholic school, so you had like you just always had the same kids every time you grad. You the next year you were in the same classes with everybody else, and it was this cohort of kids that for the next 4 years for me was just the same kids. It was great. We were all friends. Like sometimes you had some little weird beef with somebody, but everybody was friends, which would be weird in my public school, like that everybody was friends because
Are
every
you
year
still friends with them?
some I see on Facebook. I've moved so far since then, so I don't
Oh,
see
okay.
anybody. But some I see on Facebook.
Because, like, for example, Jackie, he's still friends with a lot of the kids from his middle school
Hmm.
into his third year of high school.
Yeah, yeah. I think those are the best friendships that age. Those are like the ones that you form with like your friends. Is a sort of
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Sadly, I moved like some in high school. I moved and kind of started losing touch with everybody, and then eventually just once I was in college, I didn't
Although I
see
literally
anybody.
haven't spoken to any of those people in decades.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot about making friends.
Mhm.
Not a lot about it. Yeah, my mom had this stupid idea about moving me and my brother schools every few years, which meant like you never really built a lasting friendship with anybody, which
Yeah.
really annoys me looking back at it.
The
Especially if
oh
like
those are
it was a neighborhood school,
Yeah,
those
you
are the
kind of
best.
should go to the closest school to you. It just makes sense.
Yeah, I did for 3 years, but you know, yeah, it's just retarded people. My mom was dumb, still is, but
two of the guys from my Catholic school we played D&D with. It was like my first D&D group.
mhm.
It
Yeah,
was the I don't know. We had no clue what was what. We called it was basic and it was expert and advanced, and like I don't know what it was. We felt like you start with basic and then you go to expert and then you go to advanced. I didn't have no clue about who wrote what or whatever. It was suing who over copyright. But I remember I got like
yeah,
turned into a monster. I played a magic user in the basic one, and everybody else was playing elves. They could do everything I could do, but I could only use a dagger or a staff, and I had no armor.
mm,
Yeah, I started with AD&D, and everything else seemed like a step backwards.
Yeah,
mm. I don't know.
we did. Yeah, and we got. And I remember
Oh,
we walked to this hobby. I think I've mentioned the hobby shop we used to go to all the time, and it was kind of a couple of miles away, and we walked there in the middle of summer once, and we got the Dragons of Winter or something like that from the module, not the book for
Yeah, the
D&D.
Dragonlance modules.
Yeah, that was so cool.
I have the Dragonlance hardcover AD&D book, but I have never played it or read any of the books or anything. And I've got the I think the full run of the Marvel comic books, and I'm looking to drag those out and uh, make a pretty penny on them someday. I might read them, but
Yeah,
probably not.
it was so cool. I just like, again, as a kid, you just like, it's a hot day, and you get pick up this book of adventures the cover had that skating boat, that boat with the skates on it, and the girls
Right,
with
kind
red
of like
hair.
Ice Rigger by Alan
Yeah,
Foster.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd never seen anything like that. I was like a kid, so I'd never seen like people, on lakes doing that. But
Yeah.
amazing.
When I worked at the Bush Plain Heritage Center, we had one of those, like a full size real one, in display.
Oh, cool.
Just the section on running out into the frozen lakes the museum had. Most of the museum was about fire bombers,
Huh?
Like fighters?
water bombers.
Oh,
No. The boat, the
like
planes
that.
that have the pontoons to pick up water and
Oh, yeah,
throw
yeah,
them off
yeah.
forest fires.
Yeah, you guys
What's
had
that?
great ones. We had
Yeah.
shit. It's a freaking travesty.
Mm-hmm.
What was that movie with Richard Dreyfuss, where he was
No
like
idea.
he was like a guardian angel for somebody, but like the guy who's a guardian
Oh,
angel for sees his ex, because he dies. He was one of those
yeah.
pilots that piloted those tankers for firefighting, and
Water bombers.
John Goodman's in it
Uh,
as his friend, and so he dies. I don't remember how he dies, but Richard Dreyfuss dies, goes to heaven, and I guess they send him back to be a guardian angel to this guy who just becomes a new guy for one of these pilots, and of course he ends up hooking up with his girlfriend.
Hmm. I've seen that movie, and I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, what was it called? I want to say Chances Are, but that's the one with what's her name, Sybil Shepherd, and Iron Man. That's another good movie too.
What's a good movie that's out right now? I got to entertain the folks tomorrow, so I thought I'll suggest we go to the movie theater. What's good out there to see?
No idea. I would just, look for the local theater, see what's
Beetlejuice is
playing.
out, but I'm not sure if it's any good. Beetlejuice 2 is, I think, what's out right now.
Oh, Beetlejuice 2?
But yeah, I haven't really seen any reviews of it.
I never saw Beetlejuice 1. I wonder if you have to see Beetlejuice 1.
Yeah, you should see Beetlejuice 1. Like, right now. Stop, leave now, and go watch Beetlejuice.
It's a fun movie.
Winona Ryder.
Gina Davis was in it. Winona Ryder was in it.
Was that the nurse? No, what was that woman? She's from SCTV, right? The mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
She was pretty talented, but apparently a wreck from what Justin tells us.
Yeah. I used to see her almost every day stumbling out of the Duke. The Duke was a sleazy bar. That would be.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
I think that the actor that played the dad in that was like a real nasty pedo.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, he was.
He before that movie came out, like years before that movie came out, he took some photos. Like he claims not aware the kid was that young, or with the intent that they weren't sexual. I don't believe that for a minute. But he did his time, and came out and got into acting and was in that movie along with a bunch of others. But then failed to re-update his registry, and that's how it came out into public, because he moved somewhere and didn't like sign the registry, so then he got busted for that. Yeah. But still, he's a sick pedo, and the fact that he wasn't killed by white phosphorus is a shame.
Did you guys see that video from
Tell us
Brazil?
how you really feel, Justin.
I did. He should have been killed slowly by white phosphorus.
White phosphorus.
Yeah.
It burns.
Really hot and slowly.
Okay.
Did you
And
guys
you
see that
can't put
video?
it out.
There's some video out from Brazil of I think they broke into a prison and dragged some guy out and burned him.
Cool. Was it with white phosphorus?
I don't think they have white phosphorus there. It looked liquid.
Well, this show got dark all of a sudden.
Yes, it did.
What a great way to go out, because I gotta actually do some stuff. We've got a car show tomorrow, which I always look forward to when we do the car show here in my neck of the woods. Jackie's volunteering again, which means free swag from the car show, and best of all, it's right next to the library, where I go in and buy a big old stack of books that I won't read, but they're 50 cents a piece, so I'm going to grab them anyways.
Great.
So, Raven, I will get together with you and help you work on your character, your alien race thing. Anybody else who's got questions, you can put them in the comment section here or in our Discord. I should probably make up a new channel for this project. I'll probably do that tomorrow because I got to do some stuff tonight. And hopefully maybe get a little bit of writing in because I did not make my deadline because it just keeps...
Yeah, I gotta get that out by the end of the week.
I might have it done by the end of the weekend, but no promises because it's just getting more intriguing and going in a completely different direction than I had expected. So I'm gonna run with it and see where it goes. And
Mom thinks you guys are funny.
You want
Right.
a Richard Dreyfuss movie, The Apprenticeship of Denny Kravitz. Is an interesting one. It's old though, 74.
Okay, I won't watch it.
I'm just trying to find that movie that George was talking about, but
What was it called? Maybe if you look at what's her name was in it too. Tiffany's woman. Who played Breakfast at Tiffany's? Petite woman, very small. I think she was a dancer.
Oh wow!
Never saw it.
Me neither.
Know who you're talking about? Do you know what, like the decade?
80s.
80s, okay.
I liked Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, especially when he's making that volcano thing in the kitchen.
The plateau.
Yeah.
Devil's
1989,
Tower.
always.
Devil's Tower, that's right. Yeah.
1989, always. Okay, yeah, I was like literally below it, like one movie below it on the screen. Always. Oh yeah. Fucking Aubrey Hepburn.
Holly Hunter.
Oh, Holly Hunter. Yeah. I never really liked her.
Who?
Of course, Kevin Bacon likes her. Holly Hunter.
Not ringing a bell.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different.
Helen Hunt.
No.
Oh, that's Oh, Kevin Bacon's wife is
Yeah.
Gosh, she was from that TV series. Kara Sedgwick.
Yeah, Kara Sedgwick. They met on the set of Tremors.
Huh.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing on it.
All right, guys, I got to use the restroom, so I'm going to hit it. I will see you guys tomorrow for game time, unless we get another cancellation, in which case.
Well, you said we're only one person out.
Well, Raven might not be able to make it. If she doesn't make it,
I told him I got to make it. We're having dinner early.
Okay, cool. Because I heard from Grim, and right now it's only Omen. But if we only had 3 or 4 people, it's not enough. Too many people missing out. But all right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening, George. Thanks for playing along.
Thanks.
I will
Good
see
night.
you later. Wish me luck at the car show, and I'll